preparedness. There's a storm coming, and I pray that everyone's ready for it. This world is breaking down, and it's only getting worse. Sickness, famine, economic failure, social unrest, tyranny, and much more on the way. Where will you stand when that line is drawn? Winter comes every year, but this one will be especially hard for many. Survival is being prepared as to weather the storm. Are you ready? What's going on, everybody? For the ones in chat right now, if you don't mind, go ahead and give me a 5x5 if my audio is good. Native, what's going on? I appreciate you swinging in right quick before yours. Prepper Steading, nice to see you in here. I'm sure, Native, I'm sure you're probably going to get a bunch of the traffic tonight. I'll try keeping mine short tonight, and then I'll try heading over there. Let's see here. KC, I appreciate that 5x5. Thank you very much. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and let it fill up just a little bit before we try jumping into things. There was had several people interested in going ahead and coming up here tonight. We're just going to be kind of talking about guerrilla warfare in general. I had a survey up, but now YouTube's not letting me see it. So, hello, Pastor Mo. We were kind of, the question on the survey was, what did everybody think was the most crucial part, I guess, when it come to it, whether it be the tactics, the strategies, the history. JH, nice to see you in here. Different things. Because guerrilla warfare has been around for, an extremely long time. Probably, truthfully, as long as war has been around itself. I think the very first time they say that it was actually written about was in The Art of War. And he talked about it quite a bit in there. Whether it be trying to look like you're weak when you're strong, or look like you're strong when you're weak. There's many different parts of it. But we all know with the way things are going nowadays, and any soldier, I'm sure, can swear by it if they've been overseas. It's not like it's a big open field and people march at each other like they used to do kind of back when this country started. You're either kind of in somewhat city areas, or even going back to when the British got their butts kicked. They didn't think that we were playing fair, but we weren't there to play fair. We were there to win. And that's what it comes down to. But I think the information might be very handy for a lot of people out there. There's going to be a lot that we could really discuss on the subject. And with the way things are going, it's more a matter of what to maybe expect, so that way you've got an idea of how to protect yourself. Now, everything that we're going to be talking about in this series is going to be hypothetical, of course. We're not going to, we got to tiptoe around some things, otherwise they will go ahead and pull it, I'm sure. But John Camper, hello. I do apologize, Bubba. I've got your information, and congratulations again on your win. I had planned on everything being out Tuesday, and I forgot I had some doctor's appointments and some other stuff. It just kind of got me wrapped up. I've got everything from that 500 giveaway loaded up, ready to roll. I just ain't been able to make it to the post office yet for anybody else that might catch this later. So while I'm on top of that, I'll go ahead and give a congratulations for everybody that won my 500 subscriber giveaway that we did here recently. Let's see here. Shout out videos. We had K Titus, Silver Scorpion, and Sarge. Then In the comment video, we actually had, it was Jimmy Jocelyn. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We had a Silver Unicorn, Mr. John Camper himself there, Robert Worley, which, Robert, if you watch this, Bubba, you still haven't given me your information yet. And I mean, I'm sure I've got it somewhere, but I ain't been able to find it. So if you don't care, go ahead and email me so that way I can get that to you. And then, lo and behold, the lucky man himself that won first place on that was Mr. Prepper Tribe himself. And he got him a 1 ounce round. So, like I said, all that stuff should be getting out this week. I'm running behind on it, but I'm kind of always running behind on everything. So, let's see here. We only got 6 in here now. I don't know if we're actually going to get any traffic tonight or not, because Native is going live as well right about now. But let's see here. I was supposed to have some people that were coming up, and I guess maybe I should have sent them the link ahead of time, and that's my fault. Milkmaid. Don't worry about it. You're not late, eh? Ain't a whole lot of people here yet. And yeah, Native's going live. He forgot he was originally going to be on here tonight, and I was giving him crap earlier about it. He was going to postpone it, and I told him, it's like, no, go ahead, brother. I mean, he's definitely got a larger channel and can reach more people, so any information he can get out there, it's definitely more important that way, so that way he can reach more people. But Prepping Outside the Box was originally going to be my guest tonight, and then I had a whole bunch of others that showed interest, but I'm yet to see anybody just yet. Well, mate, if you want up here, I've got I posted a few times. It's open panel. I got it to where there's going to be I think it's 10 spots are going to be available. So anybody that wants to get up here and talk about it, by all means. Smack Josh one. Oh. As I'm sure you guys can hear the monkeys in the background that are being loud and not being in their room like they're supposed to be right now.
I'm sorry.
But little monkeys. Okay. But anyway, no, I really kind of thought we'd go over just a little bit of, well, guerrilla warfare itself. I mean, in my opinion, in my personal area, we've got wooded, woods around us all over the place. There's definitely a bunch of open fields because I live kind of in the farmland area. But I mean, let's see here. Try to go more earlier. Got well and booted. Sorry, or I would. I'm lucky to chat with my stupid rural internet. Like I said, one of the monkeys. Anyway. But now I was really hoping to get a couple of the military servicemen and on here. I had reached out to several people. Okay, well, we are 10 minutes into it. Alrighty, well, oh well. We'll just roll with it. Alrighty, but for anybody that doesn't know, guerrilla warfare is not a head-on fight. It is going to be, well, there's many different ways that it works. One is to be little skirmishes here and there. You hit them hard and you run, find another weak point, hit them hard, get away, and just keep doing that until you slowly break them down. It's actually a very, very smart way of doing it, because you go head on to head on, and I mean, there's usually a lot of losses on your side as well, and nobody ever wants that. Doc Mac, what is going on, brother? You want to hop up here as well? You feeling it tonight? I was supposed to have several, but kind of like at least one more up here so we can kind of bounce ideas back off of each other. But anyway, especially in urban environments, you're using your surroundings to your advantage. Duck and cover, anything that can protect you, you're using. I know a lot of our soldiers that have been overseas have seen a lot of guerrilla warfare because that's what was used against them. They were the kind of the target out in the open while everybody else was picking away and doing different things like that. Busy right now. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I can understand the internet sucking. I'm actually kind of surprised mine's been doing good as it has been here recently. I use Spectrum or Charter or whatever you want to call it, and there's been plenty of times it ain't worked out so hot. There was actually one time I'm part of Mad Stacker's premiere train on Saturdays, to where a bunch of us get together and do premieres Saturday morning. And there was one week to where no matter what I did, the internet just would not work. So unfortunately, I was able to not be a part of that one that week, but I can totally understand internet issues. But no, I really think we all see a threat coming at the moment. And, it's how are we going to deal with that threat? Are we going to sit there and wait for it to get to us and then deal with it? Or are we going to be proactive? Now, most of us being of the prepared mindset, we like to be proactive instead of reactive. Just like the beginning of last year and stuff, that, they tried blaming everything on preppers when it come to the stuff missing, but facts are facts. It wasn't the preppers. It was the people that weren't prepared that was hoarding the stuff and all that. And, because they were reacting to the situation and trying to catch up. But because anybody that we need to think chess like that's a very good point right there. And hey, Sherry, I apologize. I didn't see you step in there. That's an extremely good point. And I know there's been a video here recently that I'm sure a lot of people have seen that kind of surrounds chess, and not really going to dive into that tonight unless we do get a couple more people up here, because there's a lot going on with all that. And for me to sit here and talk about it, I mean, I've got my opinions on it, but I am also have never been military, even though I give full respect to anyone that has, and I will back up anyone that has ever served or anything like that. And a big thank you out there to everyone that has. I've got a lot of family members that have served and still are serving. So full respect to anyone that signs that dotted line and puts on that uniform. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on it there, Milkmaid. I guess I will dive into it just a little bit. What it really comes down to is they went ahead and had they obviously made us, or anyone that was conservative mindset anyway, DHS come out and said that they were going to be the one that is the biggest threat right now. And for that to come out when it did, if anything happens in the somewhat near future, I apologize about the background noise. My oldest son just come in the house and the little ones are happy to see him, so they're jumping all over him. But no, it allows them to have that scapegoat, I guess. With that coming out and being as public and as widely seen as it has been so far, if anything were to happen at any point, it could be blamed in that direction, whether that person had anything to do with it or not, or anybody in that mindset had anything to do with it or not. I appreciate that, Milkmaid. I know there's been several times that I've actually had to been on other people's live streams, and because of them in the background, I've had to mute my mic and stuff because this mic, it's a cheapie, but it picks everything up real well. So, but now unfortunately, I do believe in our lifetime we are going to see something happen. And I just want everybody to be ready for it. I really want to, really would like to go over different aspects of it. And I'd really like to go over different aspects of it just so that way we can be a little more ready and prepared. I mean, it's always a great idea to completely practice, and train and things like that, but you've also got to be... Sorry, folks, give me 1 second. I'm going to mute it for just a second here. Alrighty. Okay. Sorry about that. But no, going over it in your mind over and over again, I mean, it's not going to be anywhere near the same as being physically out there and going through the exercises. But getting your mind prepared as well is going to be a huge deal. Oldest one also brought his dog in the house right quick, so they're definitely loving it. But no, I kind of like what she said a while ago when it comes to chess. You have to plan things out. You have to understand and be able to think at least 4 or 5 moves ahead. It's not what you're going to do next, but after you do that and the other person reacts and so on and back and forth with the exchange, you've got to be able to be several moves ahead. And I really believe that is part of, everything we do. I mean, thinking ahead is part of being prepared. That's why we try to have things ready. That's like, I've been directed more towards food storage here lately. And I recently got one of them food savers and stuff. And today I actually got a whole bunch of the Mylar bags in with the oxygen absorbers and all that. So I'll be able to seal up our rice and beans a little better. And I'll probably have some more videos on that coming out here soon. But anyway, getting back to it, if we were to see something come here, and unfortunately we all got that feeling, because right now we look weak. Our allies, especially with what's going on here this past few weeks overseas, and everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, our country looks weak. Potato has made us look weak, not just to our allies, because if we're leaving our own people behind and leaving them stranded, then, and not only that, everybody's heard about the list getting loose to where anyone that's helped us is being served up on a silver platter, basically. So I wouldn't personally want to be an ally of somebody that was going to do that. So our allies are looking at that and being like, well, do we really want to be associated with them? Because they're just going to throw us under the bus and leave us high and dry anyway. Let's see here. I've seen somebody else. I think a couple other people come in. I'm going to say hello right quick, folks. I know I saw... Shoot, where'd it go? Relics and Stack Stones. Hello. Nice to see you in here. And I thought there it is, dove season. Nice to see you as well, brother. But but we've all got that kind of gut feeling going on right now. I mean, I know I do, and I've heard several others say the same thing. And Pilgrim, what's going on, brother? But I mean, it's hard to get around, And if our allies think we're looking weak, with the way things are going on, our enemies definitely think we're looking weak, and they've done nothing but empower the group that's over there right now. I mean, they basically defeated what was originally, the world's superpower. We with the way they did things, we tuck tail and run is the way it makes us look. Even though I will not say that for any of the soldiers, I know they were all under command and under orders to do what they did. So when I say tuck tail and run, I am not trying to disrespect any of the people at all. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the orders that came down from the very top. But I mean, that's something that we don't do. We don't run. We don't, I was always told growing up, these colors don't run. And I fully believe that. I've known too many people to serve. I've known too many people just to be proud to be an American. I mean, shoot, the oldest one that is seeing the young ones right now. See you later, Bubba. He's actually got We the People and 1776 tattooed on his arm. So, I mean, that's how deep it runs around here. But, yeah, and we're not a superpower anymore. We're really not. We're a super debtor is the way, we're a complete consumer. We don't really produce anything anymore. And, I mean, we're too reliant on everybody else. I mean, don't get me wrong. America's never been perfect, and it's not going to be. We're all human. Nobody that's human is going to be perfect. We all have our faults. We all have, whatever comes along. So, but America as a whole, there's a reason that everybody tries to come here. And that's because of freedom, even though we're not as free as we would all like to be. And the idea of freedom can be debated, But we're still a whole lot better off than many, many other countries out there. And I will always be proud to be an American, plain and simple. Let's see here. Sorry, I have lots of squirrel moments. So if I get going too far off in one direction, then, well, I'm up here by myself. So I got things to kind of help me keep track. But anyway. Let's see here. Stores got flooded out yesterday and were closed today. Oh, that sucks. I've been expecting some rain up this way, but we haven't seen any. I was told that storm was coming straight up, basically straight up the Mississippi. There we go. Finally, somebody. What's going on, Cleon? What's going on, Farmer's Son? Let's get somebody else up here. There we go.
What's up, Bubba? Good to see you.
Great to see you too. There we go. That was the background I originally had. I don't know why it went to the other.
That's badass. What's up, chat? I got a message for Laura real quick. Laura, you won something on Prepping with Sarge. You won something from Prepping with Sarge, and you need to get a hold of him so he can send it to you. And I yield Definitely. It's awesome. Whatever it is, it's supposed to be like, I think it's it's either some kind of like harvesting bandana or something. I think I'm not sure, but I would definitely check into it.
And since we're talking about him right quick, anybody that hasn't seen him yet, definitely get over there and check out Prepping with Sarge. He's got a lot on. I mean, he's into precious metals as well. That's the reason I kind of went towards the stacking community there for a while. And I mean, I'm still over there, and I still, in my opinion, the stacking community is just like the homesteading community and the prepping community. We're all trying to be prepared in one way or another. It's just
Exactly.
I've said it before, different branches of the same tree. But prepping with Sarge also does a lot on like wild edibles and finding, and knowing what other plants are and stuff like that. So, definitely get over there. And let's see here. We got I seen another name. I see Sarge there, and that's another Sarge that everybody needs to check out. Another a Canadian. I was gonna say Canuck.
There's a lot of drama going on up there right now. You heard about all that?
I've heard a bunch of stuff. But
they was chasing Trudeau, or not chasing him, but he was going through a campaign stop. I think it was in Ontario or someplace like that. I don't know all the provinces like that, but they was cussing him up and down the street and telling him to go out. And like, it was funny to watch though, because it reminds me of one of the like a Biden rally here in the United States. You need to see some, like in Texas. You remember that caravan that followed the bus? That's what it made me think of.
Well,
they're having a lot of drama.
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, he needs to know what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, he needs to know what's up, dude. Like, that dude is not a good guy.
I don't know how to pronounce it here, but KOMRD, Comrade. Yeah, I'm guessing Comrade Radio Prepper. Nice to see you. I've never seen the name before, so nice to have you in here.
That's a badass name.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Pilgrims said they hate it. They hate him. He wasn't elected. He was selected, and I believe that.
I could see that. Northern Girl Hobbies, she brought this conspiracy to my attention, and we don't got to go too deep into it. It's just a real quick side note. This dude is apparently Fidel Castro's son. And I was looking at pictures of Fidel Castro as a young, in his 20s and 30s, and looking at this man, I'm saying, man, these two, dude, I could see it. But yeah,
I've heard
you can't
that
trust
many
that.
times, but yeah, I mean,
like that dude, you can't trust him, like, or anything like that, because he just seems like he's just too much of like trying to be Mr. Nice Guy.
I wouldn't trust him anyway because I follow anybody that's into gardening or it's actually he originally started with market gardening, but it's Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. Definitely check him out if you get a chance. So much information, it'll make some people's heads pop, I swear. But he puts out a lot of information. He's from Canada as well, and he's given a lot of opinions when it comes to Trudeau. But I don't trust the guy for the simple fact is, I mean, you heard a while back they basically outlawed all firearms other than a couple hunting rifles and a couple like shotguns. Yeah. Everything else was outlawed pretty well. Turn it in or we're coming for them kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's just kind of like everybody keeps saying, well, they're not coming for our stuff here. They'll try, and they have been trying, and they'll keep trying because they're afraid of the people.
They totally are, though.
Probably the only thing that has saved this country so far from other countries is they're truthfully. It's not the government they're worried about; it's the people. I mean,
hence the name. There'd be guerrilla warfare. Mm-hmm. For real, dude.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't know how much truth is behind it, but it's been out there for a very long time. During World War II, after Pearl Harbor was bombed, Japan had a chance to come in for the kill, basically. And one of their lead commanders or whatever supposedly said that they would never step foot on American soil because behind every blade of grass was a citizen with a firearm. And that's what
I think it was Yamamoto.
It was something like that. I mean, it's kind of
that's crazy. No, I've heard that.
True, but I mean,
that was a crazy time. That was a crazy time, man. I heard that they knew about that shit like 2 or 3 weeks in advance. But they was looking for a reason to. They was like, oh man, we've got the most insane military on earth right now. We need to use it. And then they just like, and they was waiting on them Japanese to come up on them, dude. And but what those real quick side note though, those Japanese dude in World War II were pretty vicious. Were like not good people at all. They're comparable to their German counterparts. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like not doing good shit.
Well, I mean, it's a matter. Unfortunately, it's a matter really of your viewpoint. You know, if you were over there, you know, you would see them in a different light than if being over here. You know what I mean? I mean,
exactly. That's the way they was raised. They were brought up that way. You know what I'm saying? Like a 19-year-old Japanese soldier and shit back in 1938. He's doing what he was taught.
Well, that, and I mean, if you really think about it, I think of them being savage in a matter of they were willing to, kind of like the whole guerrilla warfare thing. They were willing to do whatever they had to do to try to win. You know, via the kamikazes. I mean, if you're willing to fly your plane directly into something fully packed, you know, fully loaded down, you can't go more all in than that. I mean, no matter how you look at it, you can't go more all in than that.
No, they because they believed it in their mind. They knew for a fact what was going to happen when they died. They was going to be reincarnated as another soldier again and just keep. Because like the emperor was God to them. You know how we look at our religion and our culture in the United States. Like their culture is the emperor is God, and there are other minor gods, but the emperor is who you live and die for. And they after World War II, they almost executed the emperor, but they thought that would be a bad idea because a bunch of people would have killed themselves if they would have done that in Japan. But they was gonna execute the emperor for war crimes because he kind of sanctioned all that shit to go down. But they begged him. They begged was it MacArthur? They begged Douglas MacArthur not to, and then he chose. And that was a good idea, you know. Because you got to think like this. And there were real quick, one more side note. I'm sorry, I keep on sidetracking, but after World War II, they took like 2 or 3 million samurai swords from people's homes that would belong to the because nobody was allowed to have any weapons. So they took some of these like 500-600-year-old swords and shit. But that's what's up though. They're here in the United States now. It's good.
Well, I mean, kind of going back to that time with a lot of stuff that's going on here recently. We've all heard about kind of the shielding program and stuff like that. Now, during World War II, they actually went around basically and rounded up any and all Japanese Americans and sent them to camps. And we know today that was an extremely bad idea and well, just flat out.
Yeah, stupid. Dude, if they did that shit nowadays, could you imagine the uproar? I heard that the most decorated unit in World War II was an all Japanese unit, an all Japanese American unit. I mean, like because they had to prove themselves extra hard or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be. I mean, I fully agree and believe that this is a country of, foreigners, plain and simple. I mean, we're all foreigners for the most part, and even anybody like. I know I don't look it, but Native American and things. If you really want to look at it,
we all
a
got a
certain
little
way.
bit of Native American in us. Yes.
Well, my grandmother's full-blooded Cherokee, so I mean, there's, you look at my dad and my brother, and it's very obvious. And then I took after my grandpa, which is Irish and Scandinavian side, so.
I can see that. You remind me of a Viking for sure, 100% as well. Dude, I'm almost 100% Anglo-Saxon from England. Like, I did all this research. I have a little bit of some other stuff here and there, you know what I'm saying? But it blew my mind how almost completely from England it was from multiple sides of my family. But I think that's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Hence my name, why I chose Pilgrim and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they came over here, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding that. But I don't want to digress too much. My bad. Like, I do feel
No,
like
it's,
they're gonna be taking the weapons here soon, dude. Like, they're gonna be
I think
coming.
they're gonna try. I mean,
That's
I'm
why
not.
they've
Go
been
ahead.
practicing so much with. I feel like they've been practicing with all the communications going down, the internet, the phones not being able to work and shit in a lot of places. Like only for a day, for a couple of days, for a couple hours here and there. But everybody throughout the states that I've noticed, they've been having some kind of problem with their communications, their internet, like at least once. And I think that there's some kind of like they're gonna shut down that communications when they do come for the grab to take the weapons, so that way you people we can't be like I can't be like, oh, Silverback, dude, they didn't came and took all my weapons from my house, dude. You should like just so you know, dude. But there'd be no way for anybody to let anybody
Yeah.
else know because they would try to do it all in one night to try to prevent as many casualties as possible from both sides. Because if they would just do
Yeah,
that shit
but
in the open, people would be dying like. Like, they're gonna wait
but
at
the thing
nighttime
that
after a holiday.
but the thing there is, even if they did that, can you imagine? Because what is the count here in the U.S.? I think they said that basically for every American citizen, the amount of weaponry that's out there, everybody would own like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? That's how many is out there. So the amount, we're talking millions
Like,
of
I know
people. So
some
you would
people
have
that
to,
own like 50 or 60, like 100 weapons. Like, like
yeah,
some of these old folks that I know, like my friend's uncle. He's like 70 something years old, but this dude, he as big as my room is how big his like he has like a whole safe type shed type deal that he keeps with his weapons in it.
oh
He
no,
has
I've
plenty of
known
like
people.
he has plenty of land and shit too, like as well to like, but yeah, dude, like I wish I could be that way, you know, like.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
well,
see what happens.
a guy that was he wasn't technically family, but he drove truck for many years with my grandfather and was more or less an uncle, that kind of thing. I mean, when he moved into his new house, they actually took the side of the house off so that way they could fit his gun safe into the house. It took up the entire room, and then they reattached the side of the house. His old shop that he had before he moved, you opened the double barn doors that slid open, and there sat a 30 cal Browning machine gun on a tripod facing the door. So you opened that thing up, and it was pointed right in your face.
You know
I
what was
mean,
up.
yeah, I
That's
mean
awesome.
he had everything from 50 cal sniper rifle to just whatever. I mean, he had everything. He unfortunately passed away. It's been a few years now in a motorcycle accident, but you know. But I mean, what I was
Sounds
trying
like
to
he
get at
lived a
there,
good life.
he lived an interesting life. I'll say motorcycles took a big part of it. And now that he's gone, I guess I could probably openly say that he was part of some very infamous groups, if you
Hell
catch my
yeah.
drift. So I mean, but yeah, it's I think there would be trying to get everybody's in one night would be way too much. They're trying to get it to where everybody is willing to give them up and give them up freely, and for
What
anybody
if
that watches this right here, if you're even remotely thinking about that, all I can say is look at Australia. Look at the shape that they're in right now, and that's because there's nothing that they can do to defend themselves. I mean,
you seen the video of the girl getting forcibly jabbed while the dad was getting beaten up by the cops in the hospital in Australia?
no, I've kind of tried to stick away from those videos because
I'll
I
send it
know
to
that
you. Oh, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
I know there's plenty of them out there, and I mean I've heard to where there was like a big group of them. I want to say like an entire school was
Yeah, it was like
given the
they're probably
jab
like
without permission and everything, and
younger than 10 years old or some shit, like probably like 7 or some shit. That's what I'm wondering because my son's a baby and I got him tripping. I'm like, dude, how do I know what they're giving this dude whenever he goes to the doctor? You know what I mean? How do I know what they're giving this man when he's going to the pediatrician and shit? Because they could just be doing stuff that you don't even know about.
yeah.
But
And
I guess you just gotta live, trust it.
And Ghetto Prepper, what's going on, brother? I've seen you come in here, and sorry, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. Sorry, I've kind of been chatting as well here, but I mean,
I want to get a CB or shortwave soon. Like, I would like to get into something like that as well, because I know a couple of buddies that have one too. So I have like three buddies that have a shortwave, or there's one, ham radio type deal.
yeah.
And we could all have like an iron triangle or something.
Yeah, it definitely would be come in handy, whenever they do it, because that's the thing that I've kind of wondered about for a long time is because if anybody paid attention back when Obama was president, we gave the internet to China. Like China truthfully has control over.
See, I was like,
itself.
That shit, dude. Like, I could see that because like that's where all the stuff is made at anyway, right? Like that's where all the stuff comes from before it gets over here. That's where the servers are at. That's where. But I want to know what they do with our information. Not stuff like this that's out in the open, but what they do with like our private stuff. Do you think they sell that between like dark web, like rich people,
everything's for sale,
or something insane? Like,
yeah, I mean,
like here's a personal conversation between this dude and this person right here. These two people. It's $50,000. Like, you ever thought about some shit like that? Like, and it's just people who have so much money. Money means nothing to these people, and they're just willing to be like, yeah, I'll buy that text message conversation. And I bet you that these and places like in China, they have a weird culture kind of where they like stuff like that.
Ghetto Prepper, no, I have not. I'm actually writing that down right now, just so that way I can.
Talking about Operation Starfall.
Yeah.
I looked a little bit at it. All it said was to direct the Secretary of the Air Force to develop the implementation operation. And it has something to do with the internet and all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I don't understand as to how. I mean, I guess I'm not tech savvy enough to understand how we could just give the internet over to them anyway. But I mean, there's Backwoods. What's going on, brother? You're not late.
What
man.
up,
We're
Bubba?
just kind of sitting here jibber jabbing. We kind of
getting started.
Been talking a little bit about it, but TikTok is much more sinister. That's funny you say that, man. I actually got on that the other day and finally started something up. I went ahead and put a couple videos out, and the video at the very beginning that I played at the very beginning of this, the last little video I put out, was like a minute long. They actually removed that from TikTok already. Said I was trying to incite violence. Been on TikTok 2 days and already got a video removed from it.
Dude, TikTok, I've seen some weird TikToks. My buddy's into TikTok, and some of these TikToks will be like conspiracy related, and I've seen some insane TikToks, kind of mind blowing shit.
Well, see, that's what got me about them trying to say I wasn't trying to incite violence or something like that, when all I was trying to do was tell people to get ready. There's craziness going on. If you're not trying to be prepared,
they don't want people.
You're gonna be run over. But yet they let that one chick that's in a military uniform put that video out. And as far as I know, that's still on TikTok, where she's talking about if you don't get in your house when I say, then you become the enemy.
That house or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, how is that not inciting violence?
But no, I've seen that.
Go right ahead.
That bitch, she was just the way that like that's a part of that new American attitude shit that I believe is like this chick. I'm like, okay, like I respect what you do. But who do you think you are? It goes back to it's like superiority kind of shit. Like, yes, you're doing this for me, yes, but whenever you try to come and take my shit, no, bitch, you become the enemy and you try to tell me what. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a hero, but if you're trying to like, that's where there should be no like lines crossed like that. I feel like a lot of the, I feel like there will be a lot of the National Guardsmen, a lot of the military, and a lot of the police will be on the side of the Patriots if this shit does hit the fan. But I feel like there will be a lot of people following orders, though, too. There will be half of them will be following orders, and half of them will be on the Patriots. But you're gonna have to like, because at that point you become a soldier as well. You know what I'm saying? If you're in this, you know, if they're coming here and they're trying to put your like family inside of a camp or some shit, they're trying to take your weapons from you, dude. Then it's war, dude. It's on, dude. And I yield my time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
dude, that gets me. That video did get me fucking heated.
It got a lot of people heated, but that's another one of those things that, in my opinion, is kind of back to the idea of guerrilla warfare, or at least psychological warfare. You know, just kind of like the other old boys video. You know, it's meant to get a reaction out of people. You know, it's meant to make certain people feel certain ways. That's kind of like if anybody noticed when they did all the stuff trying to leave Afghanistan, you know, they made it a point to show that video of the people climbing on the plane and that video of the people falling after it's been up in the air. They wanted that reaction from everybody. You know, that was the purpose of it. Otherwise, they would have made, because any other time,
gets me,
they wouldn't have let it go out there the way they did.
When I see the babies and the children and shit suffering from those videos and photos, that's how they get me and shit. And I know that's how they get a lot of people, but I think that they're showing that this shit, dude, that's going on over there, man, is so unfortunate, dude. Like, it is, dude, because, you know, it's like, if you're, I know you guys are probably Christians as well, like, but if you're not, that's totally fine as too, but they're killing Christian people over there and shit right now, dude, like, and the only reason I'm talking about that, because I want to kind of get to a side topic real quick, and that's it. Glenn Beck is using his own personal plane to go over there and save people. And the fucking president of the United States is not doing shit. You have all these people using their personal planes to go save people. And that's it. But I don't know, dude. It's upside down world. Good to see you, Backwoods.
What's going on, Backwoods?
What's up, brothers? So, first off, the TikTok chick, all right, the little military chick, she's a truck driver, delivery driver for the military. Now, I don't know, I was not in the military. I don't know ranks and files and all that stuff, but I do have people, just like all of us do, you know, that's in the military, and they looked up her record. She's a truck driver. And I just want to tell you, when she said that the good old boy system ain't going to work, and I look at it like this, seeing the good old boy system, now the good old boy system, we don't whip on women, okay? In the good old boy system, we don't believe in that. But let me tell you, so if she's telling me the good old boy system don't work, it ain't in play, then that means I can whoop her ass. And we don't even need to. I just want to dance with her for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I'll whisper sweet nothings in her ear. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just. I mean, who the hell would have ever thought that we'd be seeing a military personnel come out and threaten Americans this way?
Well, I mean, you think about it, she was already beat to the punch by Potato himself. You know, gonna need nukes and F-15s or whatever. I mean,
yeah, I remember when he said that, dude. That was a flat out open threat to people. I mean, if no T-Man would have said something like that, then there would have been a major city would have been burnt down for like 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Well, I was a little late because I got to watching this thing on the Jeff Mack channel, and it's in Sacramento, California. It's at a school district. I guess Project Veritas exposed this teacher there that had Fidel Castro, Antifa flags, stuff like that on their wall, and was teaching these children about this stuff. And this was this teacher turns out to be an Antifa member, and some parents found out, man, and they're up in arms about this stuff, dude. They are pissed.
I should push up on my blank.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's kids, man. We kids, man, are our life, bro. I mean, that's why we're doing this stuff.
That's
man.
your legacy. That's
it right there.
That's why I look at my son like everything, because that's my genetics. That's survival is your DNA continuing.
Right. I mean, look at me.
Even
I'm
beyond
old,
that,
man.
dude. That's
I'm
my
getting
Bubba.
old.
That's my best friend, dude.
Right. I mean, look at me. I'm getting old, man. My kids is what I want to do stuff so that they've got a future, so that y'all still can have a future, So yeah, kids are cool, man. It's all good.
Isn't one of your kids like 5 years old or something like that? Like, don't you like you're like how? That's, I know Mojo Man's got like Mojo Man's got a 6-year-old and he's like 73 or some shit.
So, really and truly, the guerrilla warfare tactics and training, I mean, that's just something that, a lot of hunters are going to be able to use this tactic. It's none of that gentleman crap no more where you stand out in the field and fire at each other. That's stupid. We have progressed way beyond that. And I mean, I know that our military, their hands were tied a lot, man, over there. I know that. But I mean, man, we've been over there for 20 years trying to whoop some goat herders, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest, because I love I love the military, dude. I respect them. Man, my brother-in-law, I've got my dad, my father-in-law. I mean, dude, I've got so many military people in my life, man. Some of my best friends are former military, and I'll just tell you, man, we went over there for 20 years and couldn't whoop some goat herders, boy. Jokers hid up in the in the woods and stuff, that's what they did, was they used guerrilla tactics, man.
Yeah.
That might have been practice though for when they get here. That might have been a little bit of practice for them if they have to come to the mainland United States, though. It's one of the theories I've had before. I don't want to sound disrespectful or nothing, but that's no disrespect to the military or the people in it. Like you were saying, it's people are following orders. If that's your job, is your job, dude. You gotta. What are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? Go to prison and shit?
If you're told to drop everything and get on that plane, then I mean that's what you do, whether you want to or not. I mean, that's how it goes.
No,
it's not on them. No,
it's not their fault. But like B2 Constitutional says, false flag is imminent.
I agree.
I agree 100%. I've been saying the same thing, man. I even made a dang video about it, saying, be ready. I mean, it's going to happen. And it's kind of strange that we had all these fighting age men, from over there show up over here, and you're going to tell me you properly vetted every single one of them? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've come out and said they've already had several people on the terror watch list show up on them planes. They're supposedly, got them in prison or whatever, wherever they're holding them now. But those are the ones that were on the watch list. What about the ones that are with those people that haven't ever been photographed, or the ones that are the new age ones that are now? I mean,
Hutch called them the TikTok Taliban,
and that's just like, well, when they got attacked over there. In my opinion, as much as I hate to admit it, because I don't want to disrespect the ones that died or anybody that's been injured, but I really think it was a distraction. You know, what got on that plane when everybody's focus was on that, you know, on that gate? Whether it be who got on that plane or what did they manage to smuggle on that plane, you know, parts,
soldiers,
whatever. I mean,
that'll be loyal to the U.S. government and act against its own civilians if need be.
Did anybody happen to see what's come out here in the last day or so about all that?
No.
I don't guess I have been seeing stuff about the families, but
they had they had like intel that was fixing to happen.
Oh,
and they had a predator drone on that dude, on the people who committed that suicide vest thing, and they were told to stand down, do not fire, because we didn't want to piss off the Taliban, because we were in negotiations for leaving. Y'all not seen that yet?
Dude, no, I
Yeah,
haven't.
go look that one up. I read a couple of articles today, and I'm just like, man, yeah.
Dude, I would like to go over there and get. I wish I could get some of that shit that them guys got a hold of, dude. Some of that equipment that the Taliban, dude. Like they got a hold of that for nothing, dude. It cost us like. That shit cost us and like probably all the way back to our great grandparents' tax dollars to buy all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got that, dude. They got it for nothing, dude.
Well, I mean, the other thing about that is, go ahead.
They got some good equipment.
No, they didn't. Okay,
Really?
Everybody's caught up on that stuff, man. That is old school technology compared to what we have now. You got to understand something, man. Everything that we see, everything that we're allowed to see, we're at least 10 years behind of what we're being allowed to see. You know what I'm saying? They basically made all that stuff useless, and a lot of it was just old, been over there for a long time, happening. Man, them boys ain't got nothing over there, dude. They got their, and besides the fact that they've been getting other countries' weapons for a long time. I mean, how do you think this stuff is getting, how do you think servicemen are dying, we're dying over there during battles? That's because they already have weapons. They didn't get nothing, man. Trust me. I'm telling you, man, they ain't got nothing. What's up, Cherokee?
Cherokee survival.
They probably got gun stuff, but most of that stuff I know they're going to sell. You have to think that's the main goal. That's
We'll see that.
Is that you got to think, China and them, they know our technology, know how to operate it. They need it for their other projects they got. So yeah, they're going to sell most of those, but they still got stuff that they left over there that they shouldn't have left over there, but I'm thinking it was more like a trade-off. And we're
You think they'll sell any of that shit?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it was a
the
payoff.
Taliban, do you think they'll sell on black market? That'll be
No.
like a lot of illegal,
That
black
stuff
market
is
weapons
junk,
out
man.
into that part of the earth.
That stuff is junk. They
All that
destroyed.
shit sucks. Really?
They actually destroyed a lot of stuff, man. That was still usable, and I want to say
least
something
they did that
to B2 Constitutional. Check it out, man. 85 billion, still 85 billion. I understand that, but do you not realize that a lot of when all this stuff was going on over in Afghanistan, that our Congress just signed a 1.5 trillion and a $3.5 trillion infrastructure. $5 trillion that they just spent, that they just opened it up for spending. 85 billion is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And truth be told, only like 4% of that they let loose is actually for infrastructure.
Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's that sleight of hand thing again. Got everybody focused on the $85 billion worth of equipment we left over there. And now like I said, I seen a deal today where they were talking about some of the stuff that was destroyed, and this come from a conservative website about some of the stuff that was destroyed over there before they left, and then a lot of stuff was not even operational. You know, they took key components away from that. You know, and you know, I agree, it's all of our money, but you know,
What it is going to be a matter of time. Everything's timing with the Taliban. They have to have a certain time to do stuff.
right.
We already got them coming to
Do
Charlotte.
you think they want to?
You know, that's in the
Do you
center of
think we'll
North
have an
Carolina.
attack by them again, though? Is that what you're thinking, Cherokee? That we're gonna have? Is there gonna be another Taliban attack like 9/11 style?
No, it won't be
I
like
can,
11, but it'll be something. But it'll be
I
it'll be
think
in time. I mean, we might have 2
it'll be
years.
connected to the refugees and shit.
What we call what you were saying, sleepers.
Do you think?
see, it is chump
What if
change
we
to
don't
all.
use them though? What if we don't use them any? We don't have any. What if the government doesn't have a reason to use them as the? They're going to be able to focus more on right wing conservative white nationalist is what they call them. They're gonna have to. They're gonna like. They don't have the Taliban anymore as as the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? They do not. The Taliban is no longer the boogeyman. Now they're gonna be able to put the white nationalist, as they call them, the Trump supporters, the right wing conservatives are gonna become the new boogeyman.
Yeah, but I'm more
Like,
interested.
I feel like this is the last I personally feel like this is the last we've heard of the Taliban, in my personal opinion. After all this shit gets done with over there and all that airport shit, I don't think they're gonna do anything again, because like they got what they want and shit now. Like, I mean, we got the opium fields. We own the opium fields over there.
No, because what it comes down to, we've empowered them up to a point, if you think about it. Because I mean, they've basically beaten the U.S. And not only that, now we have idiots in the government right now that want to recognize them as the government or the state over there.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's going to be a lot more to it, but that's like the whole situation where we still have thousands. I mean, they try to say different numbers and all that, but let's be real about it. You know, if you look at the original numbers with how many they say they've gotten out of there, we've honestly still got thousands of Americans stuck over there. And right off the back, when they very first started talking about it, every time they were up there talking, it was always, we're going to get every American out that wants to leave. You know, they always made sure to add that little part in there about the people that want to leave. You know, so that way when they left the rest of them there, they could say, well, they didn't want to leave. And now, you know, I mean, we have all those Americans left behind and being put in that situation. So it's beyond proof that the U.S. government doesn't care about the American citizen, doesn't care in the slightest about the American citizen. All we are a means to an end. We're the ones that make the money for them to take. That's all it comes down to.
And that's where we fight them the best. And people, you know, we keep saying it's coming, right? We keep saying that, right? And people don't even understand that, man. All we've got to do is just simply sit at home. Just sit at home. Don't go out and buy anything. Don't go out and do anything. Don't go to work. Nobody show up. Nobody do anything. And I'm telling you, man, that $85 billion won't be chump change to these people no more. You know, I mean, that it's time we make a stand, man. I mean, we've got that on our side that we can do. And after that, you know what comes next.
Yep.
If that don't work, we only have one other recourse at that time. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of people out there that try to act like, well, we should do that. And anybody with a little bit of sense or that has actually ever seen real violence. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've never been overseas. I've never been in the military. But in my time, I've seen some stuff. I'll just put it that way. Anybody that's ever been in a kind of situation where they've actually seen some stuff doesn't want to go to that point because they don't want it brought to their doorstep, to their family and everything else. You know, I mean, so you see these people out there, well, we need to do this. That's the last resort. You know, I mean, it's unfortunately still a resort, but it really needs to be the last one.
There's got to be a movement behind it, though. Some kind of political leadership, though. It can't just be a bunch of dudes who don't have anybody leading them and shit fighting throughout the United States, though. Like, because that would be put down quick. If you have somebody, this is going to sound messed up, but you look at some of the stuff that happens over in, like, Liberia or some shit, where they'll have, like, this guy, this president, and this president, and this president representing these different factions. As shit it's the fan, like CW, I think that's how it could be, like, but like it would only if it had some kind of like leadership behind it, some kind of political movement behind it, though. You know, that way regular people would also support us as well, you know, whatever group it, but I don't think it could just be like a bunch of dude, like, you know, like you said, only 15 people showed up to that thing you was talking about, Backwoods. I think that there needs to be like some kind of political, like you see these political rallies and shit, you'll be seeing like thousands of people showing up to them. And then I don't know, like you have to have some kind of leadership though for that to happen. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to do anything though. You know, we could be upset about them, you know, and we would just take massive casualties at the end of the day, and that they would keep on rolling and keep on being whatever they was, being the United States, and we would just be casualties at the end of the day, and that's what's scary about it. There need to be some kind of like upper level leadership, and I yield my time.
Have a good night, Sarge. I appreciate you being here, brother. Yeah, I can agree with that, but at the same time, the leadership needs to be many.
Yeah,
It can't
So
be
it'll be
just,
like a Mao Zedong or some shit like that.
it can't just it can't just be one, because if you think about it, then that one will get put in prison or something like that. They'll try to make an example of that one person. They won't get rid of them, because then that would turn them into a martyr, and then you'd get more people stand up.
Straight up.
So they will do everything they can to bring that person down. Just kind of like, like everybody was talking about with the old boy that's come out here recently, you know, the Marine, how right off the back they were going to start going after his mental health. Well, the very next day after that video, they already had higher ups saying that, you know, he was supposed to go see a psychiatrist or something like that. You know, they already started the attacks on the guy. Just, I mean, that quick, you know. So, I mean, they're going to try to paint him in a bad light no matter what. Now, like I said, this could be the whole, you know, psychology kind of thing going on, to where they're trying to get people riled up, or it could be a scapegoat situation to where now they got, you know, a target to where if they pull something off, they can say, well, that person's the one that did it, or that group or that side's the one.
I'll be right back.
You know, so I mean,
a bait and hook, what I call it. I think Buscemi knows what I'm talking about, because me and him both agreed about him being a bait. And everybody was looking at the Masonic stuff. I was doing the same thing. I know, because as a 32 and I'm a 33, I know what they usually have set. And I was agreeing on almost everything except it wouldn't have been the Bible, it would have been a Quran, but the Bible's in the dark. So that told me it couldn't have been it. So what we would have to do is have to, like, I'm going to say 4,000 people being able to talk to each other across the state, and then move slowly in it. I mean, it's going to have to be the same thing like it was in the Revolutionary War. Everybody knowing who and knowing how to talk to them.
Well, see, in my opinion, what we really, like I said, that one needs to be the last resort. But if we could really push one thing, I kind of go with what Backwoods was saying. But we all need to be self-sufficient. Silver Scorpion, appreciate you coming in here, brother. But because if we were all self-sufficient, able to feed ourselves, able to take care of ourselves, wasn't dependent on the government in any way, what could they get out of us? What could they take from us? You know, and that's what they're afraid of. That's why they're trying to push, in on our food chain so much. They're trying to keep people from having animals now, or keep people from growing food. That they're trying to control the food because they know if they can control the food, they can control the people.
Yeah, I call it NWO. So I think back when I'm talking about NWO.
Yeah.
Same thing I should-
Well, it just seems funny that people, when you talk about doing things like this, just like screw it, just don't go out, buy nothing, don't go to work, just everybody stop, don't deliver nothing, just stop. Everybody, you get a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, well, I'll lose my job, I'll lose my this, I'll lose my that. But you're steadily losing your job and your rights now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to get people to see is you're steadily losing. Because, look at all the businesses that are saying, if you ain't this, you're done. You can't work here. If you're not, you can't come to this football game. If you're not, you can't come in this store. And they're doing it more and more every day. Well, you know what we tell them? All right, screw all of y'all. We're not doing none of this. We're done.
Yep. Yeah, I fully agree with you on that video. That's, yeah, it's.
Well, there's already a lot of hospitals right now in trouble. Because they've tried to push this stuff, man, and these doctors and nurses and other people, and some of them, are like, man, it ain't even about taking the stick. It's more about the fact that you're going to mandate us to.
Yep.
And we have rights and we have freedoms in this country, and it just, they're being taken away while we're too worried about getting them taken away.
Yep. What's going on, Bushcraft and Stuart? I seen you both come in, so I'm gonna say hey right quick. But no, I fully agree with you because, like you were saying, everything's being taken away anyway. So do we go ahead and stand up and say screw it, and try to draw that line in the sand and make it a point that well, y'all can basically kiss my ass, or are we just going to sit there and keep cowering back until it's taken away anyway? That's really the two that when it boils down to it, that's really the two choices that we've got. And I don't like it, but it's facts,
Well, that's
certain people tried to go for an impeach, and that dude from Kentucky turned around and said no because the Democrats are in control. Senator of Kentucky, he wasn't going to let that happen. Yeah, that gave
Mitch McConnell. I've seen that. Mitch McConnell said the president will not be impeached. They don't want camel toes up in there.
But they can't go for that other part, remember, about mental health and stuff. If we got enough people hitting on that, it would have to be tested. And if it shows that he is incompetent, then that would have to be folded. You know what I'm saying? Folded up.
Well, a lot of what I'm seeing right now is a lot of the states are really starting to stand up themselves, because the federal government's kind of coming in and really overstepping, truthfully. And they have been for a long time, don't get me wrong, but the states themselves are finally kind of starting to say, enough's enough. I forget exactly what it's called, but I know there's a thing going around that they're wanting people to sign up for or whatever, to where it's supposed to have like your state separate away from the federal government, or so. I don't know exactly. I kind of looked it up one time.
You talking about the Convention of States?
Yeah, I think that's what I was.
It's not about. Well, it's to give the power back to the states. Yeah, and they're wanting to amend basically that. Yeah, it's just the Convention of States. Again, I've been kind of involved off and on with that for a long time, but yeah, it's got to be careful, man. Just be careful of who your representative are if you're going to follow the Convention of States.
Well, I know
No, yeah, I agree with that.
my governor, he's still back Joe, so I'm going like the hell with this motherfucker. He didn't know that he can be 8-balled in his little association with Freemasons, and he gets kicked out for he ain't gonna be reelected again. We don't have that association no more.
Well, see, that's like I started to look into it, and then I'm here in Missouri, so they've already gotten all their stuff taken. You know, I mean, it's I guess fully signed of all that they need or whatever. You know, Missouri's already in on it. But
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
are here in Arkansas.
but I mean, you know, here recently, I don't know if anybody watched Guns and Gadgets or not, but you know, Missouri has been fighting the government because they put in, you know, the 2A protection and passed it into law pretty well. Well, then the government come in trying to say, well, you can't do that because it's unconstitutional because we say you can't do that. So that's, you know, the whole back and forth on that. But the judge actually ruled in favor of Missouri right now. I mean, there's still a lot more to the whole situation and all that. But as of right now, you know, Missouri does have the 2A protection law in effect to where at least our people here in the state will not help the ATF coming in, you know, if they try to come in and do something, and they'll actually, to a point anyway, you know, do what they can to prevent any federal, you know, handling of situations here in the state, I guess.
Right.
But because I mean, that's why I like Missouri up to a point, because it's really, and even compared to like Texas originally and stuff, it's always been a fairly free state. Now, don't get me wrong, you get around Kansas City or St. Louis and good luck to you, you know. But I mean, here in Missouri itself, you're allowed rain catchment. You know, they're still very, very much backing, you know, homeschooling. You know, I mean, just all the different little things. Missouri's really about the people, you know.
Yeah, Arkansas is still pretty good too on all that stuff. I mean, I've got a rain catchment system here in my yard, you know, and I mean, even though I live in town limits, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got chickens, and people down the road's got chickens, and there's some cows right over here, you know, and I mean, yeah.
It's
So, I
funny.
mean,
It's funny you said the cow thing, because we actually some got loose down the road here, and we had some coming down the middle of town right
yeah.
just the other day. So, and I feel you on that one.
You can actually still discharge a firearm in our city limits, as long as it's in a safe manner. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there and you got like a big, you're out there and you got like a big dirt mound in your backyard, and you can actually stand out there and discharge your weapon. You know, that's and they really can't do anything to you. You know.
Yeah.
But I've got a place up the road that's, you know, in the woods, and so I mean, I'm not, you know, going to scare the heck out of my neighbors all the time out here firing all the time. You know, I can drive 10 minutes up the road, man, and be out of the city limits, and you know what I'm saying, and be out on a guy's property that's, you know, a couple hundred acres there, you know, so.
That'd be nice.
North Carolina the cops here is trying to Moore's was cops. I don't know how the guy did it, but he found a way of using the tags with a chip. They can take over your car with a laser. Meaning when if you try to run from a cop, it's right there on the bumper. He will fire that laser, and he can actually control you to get off the road and stop. But it's only good for about like 8 hours. But yet they got it one now. If they can get it pushed, and everybody be going like, okay. It stops accidents, it stops this and that more. No, what that's going to do is going to make people get a little bit meaner.
Oh, I believe it. My wife got a new vehicle here recently. Her very first one, which I mean, she's an RN and works her ass off, you know. So I mean, she she deserves to have a new one by all means. But that thing there, it'll actually some idiot decided that there needs to be a whole bunch of roundabouts in our area, and that thing that thing will actually can drive itself around the roundabout. With all the technology in that damn thing.
I freaking hate things, man.
Oh, you got to kick out of me when I first noticed them. They got him in Kannapolis, China Grove, and Salisbury. I went through there. I thought I was going good. Didn't know that. Hey, you're supposed to give other people. Where the hell did this come from? I could speed up just to get over that other guy.
Man, I hate those things.
We used to have what they call clovers. Get on the highway. Now we got I call it a clover on top of a clover. Then you get in the highway. But you got to know which one you're going to or you might mess up. Of lights. They don't have lights there.
Yeah, it reminds me of driving up there around St. Louis. If you, like you said, a clover. So, I mean, it comes up and onto the bridge and then it does this number. Oop, and then, you're not in the right one. You definitely going to be going the wrong way. But.
Yeah, 5 lanes to that, so you imagine how I'm feeling. I'm going like it used to be just 2. We never had no problems. Now we're having problems.
Yeah. See, I live out here far enough. We still got gravel roads. They're not everywhere, but there's still some gravel roads around here.
I like them areas a lot better than I like my area now. They're changing everything to fit them, and I'm like, there's nobody but them.
Yeah. And I mean, well, I'll put it to you this way: the town I live in still has one of the old Trump 2020 signs up on the railroad, what used to be the railroad crossing here in the middle of town. I mean, it's still up there.
You'll see a lot of trucks flying the F Biden flags around town where I'm at. Like they have like in one of these towns close by to me, they have like a hot rod festival and shit. And you'll be seeing all kinds of pro-Trump stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, Tennessee is probably the most Trump place that I know, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure where you guys are at is probably Trump too.
Oh yeah, everybody around here is definitely for their freedoms. I'll put it that way. Everybody's got that opinion. It's not that anybody kind of in our mindset. It's not a matter of we want to push anything on anybody. That's what's crazy to me about all these people that are supposed to be, the lenient left or whatever. The ones that are, and it ain't nothing like that. If you don't think their way, they want you gone. And all of us are like, hey, you don't think the way I think? Okay. You do you, I'll do me. Leave me the hell alone. And that's what all of us want, is just to be left alone and to do what we do. Freedom. I don't know how else to say it.
What most people are doing now is actually, you think about it, it's childish. If you go and if you looked at something like a horror movie called Demon, and then go look at the history of that demon, well, he ain't really a demon, he's a that's what our damn government is. They want to be in the picture, they want mass control, they want our money, and they want to be able to take us out when they want to, and we don't supposed to be able to do that. That's what a gin is. Well, the devil's opposite. These ain't even giving a shit.
Well, as bad as it might sound, I know you all have seen it, but V for Vendetta, with the Guy Fawkes mask and all that, where the big government was, behind the whole incident that supposedly somebody else did, and they come in and took over and took control of everything. And as much as I hate to say it, I really think that's the direction that we're heading.
They dominate Demolition Man too.
Maybe I should turn the camera around.
I will not repeat that.
Anyway.
How was your day today, Backwoods? Did you do any part or did you get any rain?
I didn't rain none here. I did.
We got some rain up in Tennessee.
I didn't get no rain here today.
What about you, Missouri?
No, it kind of clouded up for a bit. We've gotten the past couple of days, it kind of sprinkled a little bit, but I mean, we really haven't gotten anything here at all. At least not, and I'm over here by the Mississippi, so I mean, that's kind of what they were talking about it traveling up, to my understanding. But
What got me is tomorrow and Friday, it's supposed to be 64 in the morning. No dew.
yeah, it definitely cooled off here. I will say that. Like I felt the wind coming out of the north today. It was definitely a lot cooler out here than what it had been the past few days, which surprised me with the storm coming out of the south, and now we got all the wind coming out of the north.
I'm betting we're going to have an ice winter. And we can call it dark winter, too. That's going to hit us also.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want everybody to kind of be prepared for that. I mean, wool blankets, kerosene heater, be ready to be without power. And, I mean, just be ready, period.
It's called woo. Woo. Sounds like a cow.
I got I got all that stuff. I even bought a wood burning stove to put in my shop building, and what I did was bought the stuff to install it in my house. I've got everything to put it in my house where it's safe, and so when I bought the wood burning stove, I was like, I want everything to install this into a house as well,
Yeah.
So I've got it all put up, just the double wall stuff, things like that. I know a lot of people's like, well, you can just, put it right out the window or whatever. And I understand all that, but,
It gets cold. It gets cold like that. I'm going to take one from the center, the work bed to the basement. I'm going to take that damn pipe and run it right straight through the damn vent outside and let it blow out that way and let the heat come on in the house. I got one of them old cast iron stoves. That thing's almost like 13 feet long. I feel that's on Mitchell heat. I want to next day.
I was just going to say, see that with the way Back was just talking there, making sure to have that stuff. That's another thing that I try telling people, when it comes to being a little more prepared on stuff. Anything that you've got that you're going to depend on, make sure you've got the extra parts too. I mean, like with canning, you want to make sure you've got, say, 3 or 4 extra seals for when the seals go out, or, an extra, if you use it, to gauge, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, just like with your car parts, make sure, you got maybe an extra set of tires sitting back, or an extra battery, on hand or something. Just, and I mean, a lot of people don't think about that stuff, but yeah.
When they start that damn thing, I'm starting to think like just Josh, while he was talking about, I'm starting to think, wait a minute, they might meet me before October, but I'm thinking October, but they might cut it short.
I did basically last year when I was cashing in some of my 401k, because I used it to my advantage by not having the 10% penalty, because of the coup. They took away the 10% penalty, and so I used it to cash some stuff in, and my extra preps, things like that. Well, one of the things that I did was I still had pretty good tread on my tires on my truck, and they're 10-ply tires, too. So I went out and put brand new tires on my truck and put them back, you know what I'm saying? And, because it was just kind of the way it was hitting, it was getting right there at winter time, and there's still some good tread left on them, you know what I mean? But I wanted to go ahead and put new tires on it, and I brought all them home, and I've got them sitting over there in a stack, and, in my shop right now, and I can, man, if something happens, I got tires right there, man,
Yeah.
Long dark winter is coming.
Better get you some more of these, big guy.
What's that?
What was
Well-
that? Tampons?
What was those?
Pack cars, mini stove, your fire starter.
That's
Oh, I've got all that.
You have to wear
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I keep all
I keep my
lint
bag in
out
my
of
car.
I keep all the lint out of my dryer, and I make fire starters out of those too.
That's what I do.
I do that too.
I got a big old plastic jug in there. I don't remember what was in it, like some freaking Cheetos or something. Hell, I don't know what was in it. It was a big old bucket. And anyway, we keep it right in there on top of the dryer, and every time, you know, the lint goes in that, and then we keep all of our toilet paper rolls, and that's how I make fire starters out of them. And
Well, national preparation day. I mean, preparation month. Here, I changed it on my YouTube, on my videos, national months of preparation. Let's go ahead and go from September to December.
yeah, silver unicorn.
I want to go ahead.
That's something we probably don't want to. YouTube
Not
is
openly talking about anyway, but definitely look into it. Well, I'll say that look into it and research.
I've heard
it
about that
very
shit
well,
a little bit.
but because I mean, I will say that much. Look into it, research it very well, because you got to be for sure on your amounts. I'll put it that way. But
yeah.
as for openly speaking
Could people
about
be
it,
allergic to some of the stuff inside of it?
But
Well-
let's see here. Oh, we got somebody else here.
Well, the thing you got to understand is that some of that stuff that they're talking about, what he's saying is you got to be very specific on what you're doing, because some of that stuff is made for other things and not made for human consumption.
Oh, yeah.
In the dosage that they come in, so you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But otherwise, YouTube is really bad to medical information. They chop your head off of that stuff.
Yeah, I will not give out. I'm not a doctor. I do not
Yeah.
give out medical advice.
But I will just say that both of our feed stores here have big signs out there that sell we sell fish moms. Well, I'll just put it that way. Anyway.
I learned real quickly. I watched Gray Man, and he was talking about stuff like that before. And then I watched another person talk about the horse thing. I turned around and said, I wouldn't trust that either. I'll stick, if I was anybody going to say anything, do like I've been doing. I'll say aspirin, ibuprofen, cough medicine. You can get that all at your drugstore. Get your first aid kit at your drugstore so you can get everything right. And then don't post to what it is if you don't have to.
Yeah, see, we've actually got some, I guess it's technically a medical supply stores around here that are more, I guess they cater more towards the people that go in home and take care of people, you know, for that kind of stuff. But what's going on, Long Pig? I popped you in here, but I ain't said hello yet, so.
Oh, he's a
all good, guys. Thanks for letting me come on.
Hello, Greg. Are you a highway patrolman? Because that's what I call them around here in North Carolina. There's that long pig by me.
Oh, we got into that conversation the other night about the whole Long Pig idea. You know, the other white meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to jump on real quick. I usually don't do this, but you guys are talking about being ready and being prepared. And man, I've got video of it. I got to figure out how to get it up. But I just want everyone to know my father passed away in April, and me and my sister, we live in the Northwest. We drove all the way to Kentucky, said our goodbyes, all that stuff. On our way home, we passed probably 30 to 40 brown UPS trucks. Second, third, fourth one in, I was like, those people are all wearing civilian clothing. So we sped up, and I got the video of all of them, all wearing civilian clothing. Then we went on down the highway, pulled off to a truck stop, put in some gas. And just so you all know, they pulled in, and everyone that got out was paying with $50 to $100 bills, all cash, every single one of them. And this was right before that cop who arrested George Floyd, his sentencing had gone down. So just letting everyone know, be prepared. You guys were talking, man, the government is behind all this crap.
Oh yeah.
I'm just letting everyone know that, man. That's kind of fishy how I've never seen in my lifetime, I've never seen one UPS truck for sale sitting out on the road somewhere. Never.
You know, Long Pig, let me tell you how I roll. I won't even go in and sit down and take a dump without some kind of weapon, if you know what I mean. I mean, I'm actually fixing to do a video. I've been getting some stuff together on situational awareness. I actually did a safety meeting at this big company I worked at on situational awareness, and I was talking to like 3,000 or 4,000 people. You know, so I had to have all my ducks in a row and like really study and know what I was talking about, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm actually fixing to do a video on that about situational awareness and how you can go about your daily life and you can have the situational awareness, but you can still have fun. You know, you can still enjoy. You know, you're not walking around like a damn paranoid crazy person. You know what I mean? And
self-awareness.
Yeah. Everybody better be ready. Like Long Pig's saying, dude, these people ain't playing, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, I fully agree with that because, well, in our area we've been, well, the wife's friend even come out of the store the other day and, well, if for flat out saying it, I mean, they tried taking off with her, you know, and I mean, she was not a child, but an adult, you know, they tried kidnapping her and stuff. And that happens, unfortunately, in this area a lot more often than what I would like to admit. So, I mean, everybody just in that situation alone. But I mean, like y'all are saying, you know, the government does not care about the people anymore. You know, I mean, I don't know that it ever really has since way back in the day. But I mean, they've beyond made it extremely apparent that the citizens don't matter, you know, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Hey, real quick, Eric Johnson, how are you, buddy? I'm sorry about that. I've been kind of just glancing over at the chat, man, not paying attention. How the heck you been? And I just seen when I looked over about trying items at the flea market, and he is absolutely 100% correct. Because let me tell you something, you can find a lot of good stuff in flea markets. I like to hit flea markets quite often. But what's up, Eric, man? I'm glad to see you. I ain't got to see you in a while, man. Anyway,
man, the flea markets ain't open but on the weekends where I'm at.
I also want to say hey to Pirate in there. If y'all ain't seen that man's channel, get over there and check him out. Whether you be into stacking or cooking, dude's a great chef and stuff. You know, great channel. Get over there. But yep, there he is. I know he asked for it a while ago.
Yeah, guys, I'll go ahead and jump off here. I had to let people know that, man, that's going down. So
very much appreciated, brother.
Say that, and thanks for letting me on. And you guys all have a good one, man. Love watching your shows.
Info is always awesome, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out for. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, how you guys doing?
I was wondering what you look like. Now I know who get a purple is. Thumbs up, big guy.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
I was just liking the conversation. Needed to join in a little bit with you guys.
By all means, guys. I mean, like I said, you know, as long as we don't get somebody acting stupid or crazy up here, I'm gonna let everybody up that I can, because I mean, everybody should have something to say about what's going on. And I mean, I know we're getting a little off of the whole guerrilla warfare thing, but at the same time, information is a part of it, and sharing that information is a big deal.
Well, I can
Yeah,
we'll
as
see.
long as it's the right information.
Yeah.
If most people don't pay attention. Anyway, it's preparation month, being prepared for natural disasters and stuff. The best thing to do is start learning your first aid courses, go to your active shooter courses, and get them qualified. Get through that shit quick so you'll actually know what's going on. That shows you your self awareness as you go to uh, active shooter situation. You can police departments do it. Big Dog does something similar. So he actually has that self awareness. He even take you to a mall. Put you out there. Then you can go back to your basic cooking. Get that first aid done. You know what's going on. And that self awareness completely. So that's what you need more than anything else.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, kind of like what Backwoods was saying. Here in Missouri, as long as you're a resident, you can even conceal carry truthfully without having to worry about anything. So I mean, I don't go. I open carry sometimes. Some people are against that and stuff because it makes you a target. But either way, I'm gonna have something on me if I need it, it's gonna be there. It's not gonna be one of them things to where, damn it, I need that and I don't have it. That's not
Do
how
you
I
think,
work.
Mm-hmm.
do you think that was a psyop when all of a sudden a bunch of people started coming out and saying, "Oh man, don't open carry, man. Have the element of surprise. You don't open carry because even because see here's I,
Who did
I like
that?
to think deeply about stuff, man. And I was thinking on this one night. I was sitting there like, I was sitting over there practicing, pulling my shirt up and drawing, and I'm like, dang man, that extra time, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and everybody keeps saying, no, don't open carry, don't open carry because it makes you a target. Well, wait a minute. But if there's 25 people around you open carrying, um, it makes people that want to do dirt look around and go, well, this ain't the place to do this.
Yeah, we ain't doing it here.
Yeah, you see what I'm getting at? And I mean, if you conceal carry and you go in there and dude comes in to do dirt and he's like, oh man, ain't nobody in here carrying. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, I've got one under, my shirt, whatever. I can pull it out, but 2 or 3 people's already been shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it may be me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's just a thought, but go ahead. Sorry, guys.
We'll give
No,
you
no.
an idea, Backwood, and you try it. You take where you've been putting yours, put it right here. Hey, put it right there instead of putting it over here. And you put it right there, you can just cover it with your shirt and see how you can make it where it's camouflage. And then go for it. That's
Yeah,
what
see,
guards service.
Cherokee, brother, I hate to tell you, but I don't have no gut, bro. I don't have nothing. I can't.
That's why you wear a hoodie.
I buy extra large, like extra large shirts, man, just to try to conceal because I'm a smaller frame person, and man, you put a mid-sized gun on my side, and dude, it shows. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, screw it, I might as well open carry, or have a shirt that's this big, and I'm over here trying to pull up this shirt,
Like I do. See, I do similar same things the Secret Service be doing it. I carry it just where I showed you. Even when I'm at a party doing security, it makes me look like I got something when I probably do got something, but nobody recognizes it. Because it's so your hip, your lower abs, past your belly button, down. You can sink that where you put that gun there inside your pants almost, but you can just grab it, pull right off the bat. You see what I'm saying?
Tribe.
what's going on, Tribe?
Think
What's up,
about it.
Pepper Tribe?
You see what I'm saying?
And see,
When a cop comes up and you see him coming right towards you, and he ain't looking at you at the facial part, and he drops his head like he's looking down to the ground, he's coming back up. You can just lift your shirt up and tilt it, and there's the hammer and the handle. So the cop won't even say nothing.
Well, see, the way I look at it as well, I don't carry a small firearm. I carry a G17. You know, it's full size. Because in my opinion, if I'm gonna be stuck in a situation, I mean that thing carries 17 and one in the chamber. You know, so that's 18 there, and then I got 2 extra mags on the other side. So, I mean, I'm a great shot. Don't get me wrong, but if I need it, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, I'd much rather have too much and not need it than not have enough and be needing something.
Pull. So he don't have to pull. That's what I'm talking about. He don't have to pull that hard. He's got it right there in his hand.
Yeah.
Well, I do a P28.
What caliber you guys got? What caliber is that?
Yeah, just a little bit. The 17 is a 9mm. I mean, I get the whole argument between 45 and 9mm and all this and that, but if you're a good enough shot, truthfully, a 22 will work if you're a good enough shot. You know, the whole firepower with a 45. If you're a good enough shot, it's going to do the work anyway. The reason I went with 9mm is because most police service pistols are 9mm as well. It's a more abundant ammo in my opinion anyway. So if you ever got in the situation, you know, say it finally did hit, you know, SHTF and all that, and you had to scavenge some ammo, more than likely you're going to come across 9mm compared to other things, is my opinion on it. That's the reason I went that direction. But
well, the thing about it is
T-box
like
shot, exactly.
Gary's metal detecting, imprinting is actually illegal in some states. You know, it's either concealed or not, you know, and if you're imprinting, it's actually illegal. But I'll tell you something that I have done over the last couple of years, and especially, you know, I kind of started it about a year ago, but especially when all this coop and just, you know, you started seeing like people go in the grocery store and like they were coming up and jacking your groceries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What I started doing was I bought some of them real thin you know, just regular button up shirts. You know what I'm saying? I bought
like a bowling shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I do is I open carry and I wear that over it and I don't button it. You know, I just wear an undershirt and tuck it in and open carry, and then I have my you know, just that overshirts to where I can just quickly slide back and draw. You know what I'm saying? And it seems to work out, man. I've been open carrying for a while now. You know, basically like that, but just with that. And you know, when I move around, that shirt moves around and you can see, you know, you can see the gun, you know.
Yeah.
And I carry a 9mm or 45.
Thank you, son.
I mean,
Yeah.
plain and simple. I've got a couple of 1911s, and if I'm going to go out on a very short day, I'll carry that 1911 because it gets heavy. And otherwise, I've got 9mm HKVP9 that I carry otherwise, you know, and I've got a couple of backup mags well, I've got several backup mags for all my weapons, but I'm just so, and I carry boxes of ammo in my truck and in all my vehicles too for any of the carry weapons we're going to have. I've got a couple of boxes of ammo in every vehicle that I keep in there.
Yeah.
Okay, at my shop, that's just a 40 shop. I don't carry unless I have to, but I do my damnedest not to carry nothing. I got basics stuff that you call me a minimalist. Minimize everything, and that's the way I'll be working. But if I have to do stuff, and in my hideout areas, I can build anything you want.
Yeah. Pirate, you're right on that one there, brother. That's why I put out that one video. You know, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So I try carrying 3 of just about everything, and just how it works. But I mean, but yeah,
Carry this shit. Do not touch this shit. This shit gets you cut up faster.
Yeah. I've got one of those too. I've even got I ain't got my wallet on me because I'm sitting in this chair, but I even got a little. It's like a card, but it folds out
Now that's
into a knife, so that way, I mean, it's an extra backup because I still got, my folder that I carry around with me, that Gerber that I was telling you about, Pilgrim, that I said I got one just like it.
Yes,
That one's always in my pocket there, and then I've got my straight knife. It's a SOG Seal Pup that my wife got me.
Hey, check it out. I've seen Ghetto Prepper in the chat many times. I don't think I've ever been on a panel with him, man. We've been over here talking like crazy, not even giving this man a chance to talk.
Nah, y'all are good. I was paying attention to the wife and the kid. I'm listening to you guys, but probably assuming I was a brother. I know how it goes.
You're a brother anyway, man. I mean,
well, my dad's a brother, so that's where.
You know how them people like using dental floss, they tell you dental floss is not good. This is something to get it unhooked right now. I showed my kid this.
You trying to make some teeth jokes here, man? You talking about dental floss?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't got enough teeth to freaking floss.
It gets stuck, and the person puts them zip ties on you. This is what I was showing the girl. When you put that zip tie on and you got dental floss, did up 3 times. Now you got a cutting cord.
Shoestring, brother. Untie your shoe, flip it over it, hold it down with your other foot, and you'll be able to cut through them zip ties with your shoestring.
So if you like this, it's called a super small. And you know this thing holds about 100 pounds.
I'm sure you hear that a lot. Sorry, I had to stick it in there, man. You can smack me for it. I deserve it.
Can you imagine a girl not doing nothing and hanging around?
Oh yeah.
Man, he's around talking shit to her. If he's out grab something like that, I'll just shut his ass up.
No, yeah, that's why I thought you were talking. That's why I thought you were going to go with that at first when I seen you stretch it out there like that. It's like, I know what that is, and evidently I wasn't knowing what that was. Yeah, B2, I agree with you right there. That's what my boots have got. Is I went ahead and swapped it out for paracord. And that's like if anybody hasn't seen it yet, there's actually it's more expensive. But if you go to, it's called Titan cord, and it's the paracord, but it's also got an honest fishing string in it that is a very high test, and it's also fire starter in it, and it's got a snare wire already, all in it together. So I mean, it's extra strong, when it's just actual being used as a cordage itself, and then you can pull it apart and got all kinds of stuff you can do with it. So,
well, the first thing I noticed today after I showed her that, she was looking at that paracord I had that was white, and I wasn't paying attention. She threw the damn thing in the damn closet, and I went to go get it. She shut the damn door. The damn thing glows. I went, "What the fuck?" I just thought,
that's cool.
Why, yeah, caught me all off guard. She picked it up for me.
That's cool. Yeah, let me see here right quick, actually. Just because I said that. You guys go ahead. B2 is talking about it. I'm actually going to.
This is what I wanted to give her.
How's y'all's lives going?
She knows she couldn't carry that to
What that is? What is that?
That's a piano string for only one thing.
There you go, B2. That right there is actually the company that's
Good night, Milkmaid.
Good night, Milkmaid. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. We're the first one in here tonight, so I definitely appreciate it. I know there's a bunch of people, I'm sure, sitting over there in Natives Live tonight. But no, I mean, like I said, if we get back to the kind of the idea of guerrilla warfare, all this stuff comes into play, just like kind of the things that we're talking about right now, little survival things. You know, I mean, everything is situational. Everything is situational. You know, and keeping that mindset up of not rushing full head first right on into something. You know, you want to do what you need to do and still come out on top. That's what guerrilla warfare is, in my opinion, is doing whatever you got to do to win. You know, I mean, I'm sorry to say, if I'm sitting there in a fight with 2 or 3 guys and I get knocked to the ground, I look down on it up to a point, but somebody's getting hit in the nuts. You know, I mean, just to be honest about it. Right. So that way I got a chance to get back up and keep on going, you know. So, I mean, I'm one of them kind of people, you know, one-on-one, you were always taught to fight fair and everything, but beyond that, you pick you up a club and start smacking people.
I'm 55. I cheat like a motherfucker.
But what's really a fair fight? You know, if you think about it, what's cheating? You're making sure you come out on top. That's the whole idea behind it. That's the whole point.
You do what you got to do, man.
My kids sit there and you just watch their boyfriend get around, but they be going like, damn, he's like the wrath of God. Because when they first started dating, I didn't really recognize what that was. Pop one area, and I was paying attention. He bumped into him, and then he goes over and puts his hands in the wrong spot on her. And I'm going, I don't know who this guy is. I just slapped him with a damn beer bottle and then grabbed him by the head and slammed right into the carport. And then damn, she pulled me off of him. I was going like, oh shit, that's my boyfriend. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I need some subtitles for you. We need. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got more. If I went down to the sheriff's department, they probably got me for misdemeanors and that. But then they got a hidden area, and they say, how many times I broke the rules? They said, we could actually put you in jail for this, in jail for this,
And what's going on, Johnny? I don't mean to ignore you or anybody else in chat. I seen Wild West come in too. I went ahead and threw up the cowboy hats. For anybody that doesn't know, those there are more towards the stacking community. But of course, like I said, you know, we're all truthfully one big community, whether you're in the stacking, precious metals, prepping, homesteading, farming, you know, I mean, we're all trying to be prepared for what's coming, you know, whether we feel a certain way or whatever, we're just trying to be ready for our future and everybody else's future that we care about.
We should have a prepper outside the box.
Yeah, he was supposed to be here. I had talked to him. He was actually the first person I talked to about being here. And he said he was good. I told him the time and everything else, and I haven't seen him. So
if you didn't do it tonight, like you were saying, I was like, shit. That gives me just enough time to put about 5 videos of different kind of strategies and different situations.
And I mean, we could run one right now. That's kind of the, you know, I wanted to get some ideas out there because, you know, like I said, we're not, if we ever actually, any of us see anything that we're going to have to protect ourselves from, you know, it's not going to be like in the old days to where they stood out in the middle of a damn field face to face and tried it that way. You know, we're all going to be taking cover. We're going to be seeing stuff probably in semi-urban areas or maybe forest areas, you know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are going to see stuff in full-blown, you know, like Angry Prepper. I mean, you know, he's in the middle of New York. So, I mean, you know, you're going I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you look at it. That stuff's probably guerrilla warfare without anything going on. You know, I mean, just being straight up about it.
Yeah, he's got the 5 families. That's 5 families in New York. He's in the wrong, well, great area. But right now, it ain't too great. He saw the old days, man. Him agrees about the old days.
Just all these different. There's probably so many different subcultures that exist in New York City. It's like it's not even funny, man. Mm-hmm. Like there's probably just so many different, like off of the Warriors.
I'm gonna get off. Good job, big guy.
Given that we're in upside down world, though, maybe they'll hit the rural areas before the cities. I think the
Well,
cities are pretty content. I mean, nobody really realizes.
I could see that.
They threw them threats out there, and the rural areas were like, "Bring it." So
Yeah.
Yeah, but how hard would it be to bring it? All they need to do is taint the water. That's it. Just one thing. They fuck our water, we're fucked.
well, it depends on how you look at it. That's why we also go ahead and have water purification situations.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
You know, I mean, like Backwoods and I were talking here in Missouri, rain catchment is legal. You know, I know a lot of places.
Yeah, it's illegal here.
Yeah, you can't do that here in Missouri. It's legal. You know, I mean, I don't have a
What are you
setup
talking
out
about?
here,
What's
but
legal?
Rain
Water.
catch.
You talking about?
water
You guys talking about
catchment.
water catchment?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Missouri
think
is
you. I
legal.
think you can do that in Tennessee.
Yeah. North Carolina, Georgia, I think Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama. I don't know about Florida. I got plenty of
Florida's not.
places.
They send our asses to prison for the shit.
Oh, they do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you in Florida.
Because we're taking it from the rivers. Mind you, Nestle has a huge setup up here. You know, they do what they want. You guys know how it works.
Which area ghetto you at in Florida?
No, I'm in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, okay.
I'm up in Oregon.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
oh shit!
Yeah, B2. That's why I'm real good with my bow there. It's nice and quiet, and will definitely do the trick. The one I got, I could probably hit something my size, and it's gonna take it to the ground. I'll put it that way. It
Okay.
probably takes something off its feet a whole lot more than what I normally carry.
All right, I'm going to give you a situation. So,
All right.
What's
see if
up?
you can deal with it. All right, you know how these buildings go up? Go in the staircase, and it's like an angle, but yet you're going up. Each section, you got a little square area by 12 by 12. All right? The guy's coming down, and the guy's coming up. The guy's coming up. He's kind of slow. You're in the middle. You're in that space on that staircase. How would you handle the guy coming down? No firearms. What you got to do to get him off with?
I'd
Okay,
fucking
well-
put him in a Kimura, and then I put his ass in a rear naked chokehold, and that's what I would do.
Well, to be honest about it, if you're in a stairwell, more than likely, at least every floor or every other floor, you're going to have something to do with fire in that area, whether it be a fire extinguisher, a hose, or even an axe for that matter. So there, right instantly, is my first thought. You know, definitely going to have, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I can scrap and all that, but once again, I'd much rather have the advantage.
Okay.
Now, if I possibly can, first thing I'd try to find would be the fire extinguisher, because I'd stick to the wall, and when we got within distance, where say he's at the top of a flight and I'm at the bottom, I'm going to use the fire extinguisher to dust him, you know, that cloud or whatever.
That shit burns.
And then you got the metal tank too, and I smack him upside the head while he's blinded with that cloud. He's going off the stairs towards the center, and you're done with.
Okay, you go, Ghetto Prepper. Your turn. Same question.
So do we have anything on us or no?
Nope, you don't have nothing on you. Just your hands and feet, and you can't have a fire extinguisher somewhere, but you got to be on
I
that
got time to
staircase.
piss on the one on the bottom first?
It's enough. That guy coming down at you. The one you got to get rid of is the one coming down at you.
I would get in the lowest position possible while I'm going up and try to go for his legs first and bring his ass down with me. I mean, that's the only thing I
Yes,
can
sir.
think of. Because he's way bigger than you being up top, even if it's one stair or two stairs. So I
Yeah,
want to
he
get
got
as
the
low as
high ground.
possible so
Yeah,
he
take
can
his
reach me.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing he can do is try to kick me to where I can grab his legs, and he's on steps, so I imagine he's going to fall.
Okay. Big one. Your turn. Pothead.
Ghetto Prepper pretty much summed it up, man. He pretty much I'd go
But
for
I
them
ain't
legs,
going nowhere
dude,
without
and
at
then
least a blade. So
Yeah, I usually would be carrying. Exactly. I'd usually have a blade on me. You know, I carry some sauce with me, or I'd carry. You know, I have heat as well. You know, but
Shit,
I
I
fuck
carry
around with a little
razor
bit of
blades in my mouth
jujitsu
at the
as
age of
well. You
12.
know what I'm
There's
saying?
not,
Like,
I don't see one instance I ain't got something on me.
Hey,
like
backwood.
if I get to the, if I'm gonna take them to the ground and I'm gonna choke them out, dude. They're gonna go unconscious, dude, for
See,
sure.
I personally wouldn't waste my time with that. You're in a stairwell. Think
Yeah.
about that. You throw them over that
I mean, it depends on
railing.
how stressful the situation.
Your turn, backwood.
What's
It
the
would feel
question,
good
brother? I'm
to
sorry.
do
I've
that.
got
Okay,
people.
you got a guy coming up the staircase, and you're in the center. And you got a guy coming down the staircase, and he's a little bit closer. All right. You have no weapons but a fire extinguisher nearby somewhere on that staircase. How you take care of the problem?
I'm gonna let the guy behind me jump on my back. I'm gonna flip his ass over and knock the other guy and knock both of them down the stairs. Because I'm short. I'm short, and not to mention he's higher up than I am, which is going to let me get under him a lot better, and
You
come
want to
down
feel better?
and pull him over and throw him into the guy below me, and then I'm gonna take that fire extinguisher and I'm gonna beat the brakes off of both of them.
You're thinking. And I'll tell you what I would do, and probably a couple of guys would do the same thing. You got that and coming up, and he's slower, and you know he's in that angle. You get in that corner of the damn fire casing. When the other guy gets to that second step, you go ahead and go in aggressive, like the jiu-jitsu things. If you grab him, pull toward, kick his feet, push to the left or the right, which way the casing's going, and he's going to go down to the other guy. You're moving straight on up fast as you can. By the time he gets back up, now you're on top on both of them. So they have a more problem because now you took the upper hand. So you was right almost backward trying to throw both of them. I just make one run into the other one. You can
And
go
see,
in that and you think about it and you go like,
Snap
how
the
long would it
first
take
guy's
you to go
neck,
like
then you
3
grab
minutes?
the other guy.
You know what
well,
I'm saying?
see that's what we were talking about situational awareness. You know, I mean, you said the staircase and stuff, and that just to me that just what first comes to mind is, I mean, force a habit of noticing things. You know, in every stairwell, there's going to be some sort of fire equipment because elevators don't work during a fire. They got to use the stairs. You know, there's going to be equipment there. So I mean,
You either got a fire extinguisher or you got that axe.
you use it to your advantage. Even if it was just a hose, that hose has got that metal end on that sucker. You pull that thing out and use it like a whip or start swinging it around, and I'd feel more sorry for somebody on the end of that maybe than even in the fire extinguisher.
But I'll give all three an A for thinking outside the box a little. Because you had to think, but if you start doing the math and you start doing the time, and you'll be going like, damn, that was kind of easy. He lets the guy get to him. Then he goes into aggression by just barely grabbing, jerking, and kicking the feet and pushing this way. He's going to be off balance. He's going to keep going. So by the time he can grab you like this, he ain't going to be able to lock. But you already turned him. He's
You
going
also
to try to stop the wall. You know what I'm saying? Or
That's why
whatever.
most of my shirts are sleeveless. They can't grab me anymore.
also he's gonna have one hand on the rail as well, so he's only got one hand.
And he's going to have to hit that other guy automatic. Okay, I'll give y'all another thing. Let's see, a better one. Okay, I'm using the picture on the live screen. Okay, backwood, your room, silverback, your room, and you got to get to the bedroom would be me, and you got another room would be ghost prepper. You got a guy coming through the door, which would be a silverback, and you got your windows. You know what I'm talking about? You count your windows. You got
Everybody's looking around for Ghost Prepper.
8 windows. You got one coming through your 8th window towards the bathroom. And I'm in the bedroom near the bathroom. And he just kicked your window in. And the guy's coming through the door. What you going to do?
A guy's coming through the window and a guy's coming through the door too. I'm shooting the guy in the door first.
Yeah,
because
but
the guy coming through the window's got to try to climb into the window.
Yeah.
He's got a part of an obstruction. The guy that just come through my door, he's wide open to me. I'm gonna take him out first and turn and take the other guy out.
yeah. See, the guy coming through the door is where the quarterback is. And the guy coming through the windows, you can say where my back door is, be on your hand and shoulder where prepper is. This side.
I'm gonna say by the time I let that AR-12 go on that guy that's coming through the door, I'm gonna say the guy coming through the window is gonna back out pretty quick.
Okay. All right. Ghost prepper. I mean, ghetto prepper.
I'm still looking for Ghost Prepper. Hold on. I'm just playing. Depends on what I got on me to go at either or. I mean, honestly, I would go for the window first myself, just because I'd be able to see it. Depending on, I mean, it also depends on if you got blinds open, curtains open, what kind of door you got. Because if you got a nice thick door, it's gonna take them a little while to get that down. And my door's not coming down for a while, so I'll have time to get to the window.
As you see, I got rooms. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 rooms. So I'll agree with you on that also. Silverback, your turn.
Okay, well, is there only 2 people that we're dealing with, or is the one in the house got backup coming in behind him?
You only got 2.
Only got 2.
It's gonna be. Can you? Are you on my left side? Your one room. Get the purpose. The second room, which would be the living room. I'm in the bedroom. Backwards in the kitchen and the bathroom. So I got a door here and a door there going to the living room. So you figure out which way you're gonna do. He's coming through where you're at.
Okay, I kind of agree with Backwoods there. I mean, the person coming through the window still has to get through that area to where if it's an interior door, don't get me wrong, front door is going to have some bulk and all that, but interior doors, they don't have squat. So one good kick, if you're already in the house, probably going to go ahead and take an interior door open. So yeah, it's going to be a shot through that door first. But it's all kind of situational too. I mean, you know, is my family in the house? Do I have to worry about where they're located?
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's like if there was more people, if I was the only one in the house, and say the dude coming through the door has got a team behind him, I'm actually going to go through the person out the window because I'm going to use them as my cushion when I hit that damn ground. And I'm getting away from the whole group coming in that door. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's all kind of situational on the scenario, I guess.
I didn't have family, but I just had a job. I should have had a family for you. I'd give you a little area. Careful.
I was about to say that as well. It would depend on where my family was at in the house, for sure, where my son or my wife was at, you know, and that would depend on, you know, where I'd be. But I definitely feel like the door though would be one of the best spots because like you know, like Backwoods and Ghetto and Silverback was saying though, you know, they'd be getting through that window, you know, they'd be having to climb over it. They probably had to be cutting themselves up and shit, getting through there, broken glass and stuff. So, but I would definitely take into consideration where my family was at for sure, though. Like if my family was closer to where the people were breaking in, that's where I'd be firing at first.
Okay, it's just you though.
It's just me. I'm going for that door all day. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, whoever's closest to me, really. Yeah. But right. I'd have enough for both of them.
Me, in my room, when I kick the door in, you have to go through the other hallways. See what I'm saying? Because you got 2 rooms, living room and that room, and then you got the kitchen on my side. Whichever one comes through first in my room, I'm taking him out. See how easy it would be? Not moving nowhere. If I had kids, Now I have to worry. I'm gonna have to go exactly where I hear the first noise, and I'm gonna creep, meaning on the ground.
Yeah, see, I misunderstood you. I was thinking it was all happening in one room. I misunderstood what you
Yeah,
were.
exactly. That's what I
Yeah,
was
that's what I
thinking.
thought you were saying.
I
The
was thinking,
guy
like,
was
let's
kicking
say,
my
like,
door in. The guy was coming in the door in the room I'm in, and the guy's coming in the window. That's
That's what
why.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but
That's why I answered it like that, because
but it's in
the
different
guy's.
parts of the house.
yeah,
Yeah, he's.
I sit there and say backwoods is one room, silverback's one room, ghost prepper's one room, and I'm in the bedroom.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just going to say that if all of us are in the same house in different rooms, I'm going to say I
Yeah,
feel
they're
sorry
fucked.
for the son of bitches that kick in windows. I mean,
Oh
just
my
plain and
god.
simple.
Yeah.
Or took that attitude.
People
Yeah,
are not
dude.
going to fare well in that situation. That's
No,
all
they're
I can
not.
say.
I also got to
No.
add, we got to, I believe it's our, that as preppers, we should be able to see anybody before they even get to our door or window. I mean, we
Yeah.
got to have something to be able to see it before they even get to the
A
house.
little bit of surveillance, and shit.
Yeah.
Did I put it where
I
I
was
would
thinking about investing in some cameras for my house.
is the reason I
Doing
put
a
it
pro-
in my room is if the person comes in North Carolina and a couple other states, they got to be inside the house and in close range that you are
Man,
in.
I give no fucks about the law. Somebody trying to do
I want
something,
in the room.
cut their ass.
You know what I'm
That's your
saying?
life, dude. Are you gonna live
Hey,
or are you gonna die?
Arkansas, we can protect our immediate domicile, which is including in your yard.
On
No,
planet
Give me 1
Earth, I
second,
can
guys. My
defend
bad.
myself. That's it. Fuck the law.
Dude,
And
as a human being, as a human being animal, you like that's.
I agree with that man down there. I
I
don't
got
give two
scars
fucks about
across
no
my
law.
face that shows I'm gonna protect myself. That's why I'm
I
over
would
here looking like Cherokee.
I would much rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, or have my
Yes,
family
sir.
carried by 6.
Yes,
So
sir.
Exactly.
screw the law. I don't there ain't no some bitch walking around on the face of this earth that's got a right to tell me how I can or cannot defend my wife and my children. And
Exactly.
Or your
they can
family or
piss off.
whatever. Yep.
That's right.
Okay,
Well,
give you another one.
and I mean that right there is also just like, oh, squirrel. Never mind. Go ahead, Cherokee.
He said
I'll
squirrel.
give you another thing. This is natural disaster. All right,
I think I want to go next.
you're in a 4-lane highway, but one lane is the one that's really moving. Is in the center. Everybody else is locked down, and you're trying to get over this hill or at least to the creek area. How you going to get through there when all them things are already locked down and you're in the middle? Everybody's panicking. Everybody's going nuts to try to get away from that tornado.
Well,
What?
I mean,
You ever repeat it backwoods?
Yes.
Okay, this is on a big hill, and you're going up towards that big hill in a tornado hurricane area. You're in 4 lanes. Your lane is not moving no more because everybody's locking themselves down. Everybody's panicking to get the hell out. What the hell are you going to do to get out? I mean, they're running beside it. They're getting out of their cars. You got some trying to get the cars moving. What you going to do?
Bullfrog.
Well, I mean, what's the situation? I mean, you say a tornado's coming?
Yeah, tornado's coming right down the street where you're at.
Well, the thing I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull my sidearm, because I always carry it, and I'm gonna go over to the car that's on the outside lane, and I'm gonna take that car, and
Get the
I'm
fuck
gonna
out
get
of
me and
there.
my family out of there.
Yeah, we're turning around and running.
I'm just saying, I don't mean to sound like a bad guy or anything, but I'm sorry, my family, man. I got to take care of my family, man. That's my first priority.
Yes,
And
sir.
I just saying, man. If a family over there on the outside lane is like maybe they got a Jeep Cherokee, right? And I'm like, shit, that thing's got 4-wheel drive and everything. and they're over there freaking out and panicking and not knowing what to do. Sorry, y'all got to get out. Y'all should have learned this shit a long time ago. And I'm putting my family in this Jeep Cherokee, and we're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man.
Your turn, Silverback.
Okay, well, a couple questions. You say you're coming up on a hill. Overpass anywhere near it?
That's close to the creek. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
Okay,
say
I was gonna
something?
say.
Hold on,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Bullfrog Homestead. I want to address this, and I want to address this in the right way. Bullfrog Homestead says, "I think I could whoop backwoods and prepping, but that Cherokee guy scares me." See, that lets me know right there that Bullfrog is a scary dude. He's scared. He's scared of his own shadow because, see, he lives over there in the Carolina area where Cherokee lives, and he, if he talks too much shit, Cherokee can get to him pretty easy. But I live way over in the state of Arkansas, so me getting over to Bullfrog,
across the country.
yeah, like Ghetto Prepper, lives all the way in Oregon. Yeah, Ghetto, I'll kick your ass, Silverback, well, you just live right up the street from me, bro. I'm kind of scared of you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna,
You're my
Bullfrog,
friend.
come on, man.
Here's
Is that all you got, bro?
I
Come
love
on.
you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Silverback. You was asking about an overpass.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm used to. I live in tornado area, So I mean, first thought, if it's coming, ain't nobody moving. I ain't worried about getting to that creek, to be honest, because you just the same being in the ditch right there beside the road as you are being in that creek. Now, if an overpass is halfway close, then we getting the hell out of that damn car and getting up underneath that overpass. And the only thing closer to that would be a big semi on the edge of the road trying to get under that sucker, because tornado can still come through and toss some stuff around, but you're still going to be safer underneath that semi trailer than what you are out in the open or possibly even in a normal car. But that's just dealing. That's just normal dealing with tornadoes, in my opinion. I've known people to be out in the middle of a field and tuck themselves in a ball and come out of it all right. So
I agree with you. I agree with you on that part. Ghetto, your turn. Now, he's the one.
Well, we ain't got no tornadoes around here, but are we blocked? Am I blocked in? Is the car blocked in both ways?
Yeah.
It does. Who do I have with me? My family.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm taking the dude on the other lane. We're gone. I might not necessarily kick him out of the car, depending on how much room's in there. I might just throw my family in there on top of them and tell them to fucking haul ass, or something like that. But that would be the only scenario. I'm not gonna get under no concrete, no nothing. We're hauling ass. That's because you don't fuck with nature.
yeah, but you ain't gonna outrun that tornado. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have no experience with those around here.
Yeah.
You're next, Peggle.
What was the
We got our
question?
volcanoes all around us.
When they come, you 4 lane, going towards the hill, up over the hill. But you got what did you just say that thing was again?
Well,
an off ramp.
The overpass.
Yep.
I agree with
definitely
Redneck.
like hide in a
can be-
bathtub though. Get it outside. Hide somewhere outside of where don't be around windows.
You in a car, man. Blocked in. Now where you gonna get a fast
I didn't know what the question was though. That's why I said I was like, "Hey, what's the question?" And then
That's why he said he wanted some subtitles for you.
yeah, it's her talking to Boomhauer from King of the Hill.
Good night, dog.
Hey, man, man, it's a dang old thing over there, man.
Wouldn't there be a lot of cars blocked in, and you're in a 4 lane. You're in the middle of that blocked area. Use your car to push the other cars out of the way and keep going, and then you cross into that area. Think about it.
Well, it would depend on my if my family was with me for sure, but To live or die, the chances of living seem like I'd have to go forward. It seemed like my living chances would be more. You know, or what's going on behind me? I could always turn around and just drive back the other way and find a different way to go by.
See, I have to.
I'd
agree
probably
with,
do that. I'd find a different way.
I have to agree with Redneck here. You know, when I was talking about the overpass, I mean, you definitely got to be hanging on because it does. You know, you got the vacuum effect, and a culvert, if you can find one, is going to be better. That's why I was saying about a ditch is going to be the same as finding that creek bed. You know, as long as you're lower down to the ground, you're going to be better no matter what. My big ass ain't going to fit no culvert around here. I'll tell you that right now. I could probably throw the kids in there and me hang on to the front of it and try blocking them. But
what is that?
you know,
But wouldn't it have been easier?
a culvert's that big tunnel for a ditch, like when you have a driveway that go, you know, the hole through the ditch there.
I remember seeing a lot of those down
But
south.
wasn't that right? Wouldn't it be a lot easier to just keep your own vehicle and just move the other vehicles and move your car on into the culvert?
Not if you're bumper to bumper and you're in 4 lanes. You said 4 lanes. If you're bumper to bumper,
think about
are we in a Prius or are we in?
You gonna be sitting there trying to back and forth, and you smashing the hell out of something. By the time you finally get loose, unless you driving something pretty heavy duty, that thing ain't gonna be running to get you to that creek. That's coming from a mechanic standpoint. I know backwards knows what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, ghetto prepper.
You might not even be able to turn it on. No.
Ghetto prepper. I did like one thing, basically in a correction or a further on of what you said to what I was saying about you would go over. I did think about that after you said that, and that's it. I would probably just throw my family in on top of people too, because I'm not in to getting anybody harmed, but I'm saying the driver of that vehicle, he's getting out. And getting in the back, and I'm driving because I'm thinking to myself, you sat here long enough to panic. I don't want you behind the wheel with my family in this car. You know what I'm saying?
Taking videos, man.
Yeah. But
I was thinking the same thing there, Jeremy, when I was talking about moving stuff out of the way.
I did like that ghetto prep, you know, about not necessarily throwing the other people out, man, just saying, hey, scoot over because we're coming. You know, and this is why we do these situations and stuff like that, because, you know, it makes you think, you know, because my first instinct is I'm getting me and my family out. And if I got to take your ride to do it, then that's what I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, you know, that's really pretty cool, man. I don't, not to throw the other people out, man, and just leave them there to die or whatever, you know, but homeboy in the driver's seat, he's getting in the back because I'm driving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be there, period. They should.
I just wanted to give you props for that, Ghetto, man, straight up.
Hey. The reason I do it that way is because I was in an Echo and storm hit here and everybody locked down the damn road, put me in the middle of the damn thing. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna use this Echo, which is an aluminum piece of shit. It finally got pancaked before.
Cherokee?
The underpass first. And then paid maybe $1,500 on another guy's vehicle.
Cherokee, read what Jeremy Sullivan said last.
Yeah, I was agreeing with that too when he was talking about moving stuff out of the way. If everything's locked down, I mean, you bumper to bumper.
You're right, Jeremy Sullivan. Little observation: there ain't actually a center lane in a 4-way.
All right, now the scenario is Cherokee's front wide. He's in the line.
Oh God!
That's why everybody.
He's like, how the fuck do I get back and forth?
He's counting the sidewalk too.
Fuck. Oh my God!
That's the far lane over there. He's counting the sidewalk too.
The bike trail and shit.
85. I have to watch when they have storms, and even the cops will stop and pull in the emergency lane, and everybody else will still be going right behind him. And then when he tries to pull back out, that's when he gets in the accident. And I'm going like hell. That day I was just lucky. fun part watching 18 wheelers lose their back tire.
Is my sound and everything all right, guys? This is the first time I've ever done this.
Yeah, Bub, you
I-
sounds real good actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did want to touch, and I was Redneck Prepper actually just brought it up in chat before I said anything about it, but I was going to say that I know that whenever I'm driving, and I've really been on my wife about this, and as I'm teaching my daughter to drive, I'm really on her about that, is leave yourself an out while you're driving, to never pull up on the bumper of someone else. And I'm going to tell you, I've been practicing this for years and years, and this actually saved my life one day. I was on a freeway, and I come over this, it's a little hill, and everybody was checked up, man. I mean, they were checked up hard. And I freaking went to hitting the brakes and got stopped, with some pretty good distance in between me and the car in front of me. And just as I got stopped, because I was locking it down. I mean, it was hard right over that hill. I thought about it like it all happened really quick, but I was like, man, there was a diesel right back there. And I looked up, and this diesel, when he got to the top of that hill and he seen that lockdown, he locked him up, and this trailer actually went sideways like this and clipped a couple of cars, dude. And I was like, man, he ain't gonna be able to stop in time. And I freaking gunned it and got over in the median, and got over in there, and that truck stopped about this far from the car that was in front of me. I mean, he'd have planted me, dude. I'd have probably been dead. It'd have been over for me if I would have been just sitting there. Of course, I could have got out and run too, but I'm just saying, I'd always leave yourself enough room to have an out,
Yep. And that's another thing with situational awareness right there. You were paying attention to not only what was going on in front of you, but what was going on behind you right at that point too. Because you've seen it coming, so you had enough time to react.
Right.
That's kind of like you talking about leaving yourself an out. That's like I think you were on the panel that night. They were talking about going to a restaurant. Where do you sit in the restaurant? You got the side doors, the emergency exits. You got the front door there. Where do you sit in the restaurant? Now, me personally, the emergency exits, they don't open from the outside. They only go out. So I'm gonna be sitting by near one of them towards the back, being able to see the front and what's going on in the place. It's just not like you said. You got to train yourself to do certain things just to where you have the observation skills.
Always have your back against the wall at the back table.
Yeah, Arkansas Whoop-Ass says, talking about the basically the overpasses and stuff. That's happened a lot of times, man. People getting sucked plumb up out from under the overpasses, or because it creates that hard vacuum, and it's even sucking stuff from the other side, and people's been killed from projectiles because they say the speed increases up underneath the overpasses, and they've actually started telling people don't get up underneath the overpasses. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's why I said it first right off the back. I was saying, the ditch right there beside, if it's on you, you get in the ditch. I mean, yeah. But
there's what's tickling you now, 2021. Almost every underpass now I go by in Charlotte, you can look under and you'll see 5 or 10 people under there, homeless.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have that here, but that's just here.
But
the big towns around me are Knoxville, Memphis, so those have a bunch of homeless people and underpasses.
But I'll still, if I have to, and I had to go up under that underpass, I'm gonna take that vehicle and ram it right up in there. And where the bars, where one comes into the next, you shim it and jam it. I'm trying to lock it in place. So when the wind does hit it, it ain't gonna pull it through there.
Well, there's always a chance of anything happening. I've seen the storm to where it shoved a piece of straw through a telephone pole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, if it can do that with a piece of straw, it can do anything. It can do anything with anything when you think about it. I mean, we've had them close enough around here. Well, last year I think it was. No, it was the year before. They
You
had
want me
one
to-
that put down right outside of town here. You know, we're at outside the town where I live. You know, I mean, we do deal with that kind of stuff, but
Well, how
You
far
in
are you?
Missouri, right? So
Now, Cherokee, I actually want to give you the real answer on the tornado scenario. Okay, I'm just going to give you the real answer. See, whenever a tornado comes around, I get out my lariat and my cowboy hat, and I rope that son of a bitch, and I direct it where I want it to go. I ride the hell out of that son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I ride a
Like the
black
Grizzly
tornado across the
Dude
western
song.
skies, bro.
You do that.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
follow you.
Yes, sir.
I think we all got.
I know what
real
song you're
truth.
talking about.
I think we all got to be real honest, though. We don't know until we're actually in this situation.
mhm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
there's really nothing you can prepare for or predict.
Yep.
Whether something's coming in through your windows, on a stairwell, tornado, we don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
we know we got balls of steel. We'll deal with it when it happens. I mean, we know we're not like that. You know what I mean? We're going to do something about it. But, you
Yeah.
know, fight or flight is a motherfucker. It makes you do all kinds of stuff.
Now, you got to remember that FEMA was made to help natural disasters. You know, since it's been open, it has never helped none of them natural disasters.
All we got is earthquakes and mountains erupting around us. So we don't have the big bad stuff yet. Not yet, anyways.
Oh, nothing bad happening around me. Do you have fires around you, Ghetto Prepper?
They're around us. They're not that bad this year. I mean, around us. I mean, I know they pump it a lot on, you know, the news and all that, but we don't even smell the smoke right now. I mean, last year we did real bad. The 100 and what was it? We got to I think 100 and I was looking at that. I don't know the I think it was like 118 we got to 117 or something like that.
Yeah, I heard 118 up there somewhere in Oregon. I don't remember where, but
Yeah, it was. I tell you guys, that shit looked like a fake sun. I mean, it really did. And for whatever reason,
Oh,
it brought out
God.
the mist. It brought out some kind of haze from the fires. Like it was. I took some good little videos of it and shit like that. It just did not look natural at all. And I mean, I'm not too into conspiracies. I like, you know, I believe what I see type of thing. You know, that's why I pay attention to the weather more than I do the politics or the Afghanistan or the everything else. Because I'm watching Saudi Arabia having flash floods and it's snowing in places in Argentina that's never seen snow, or Africa that's never seen snow ever in history, while everybody's talking about the vaccine. And you know what I mean? So I like to, if I can see it, I'm going to believe it more. But man, we seen it and we felt it. That shit did not. And since then, since I'm already down that rabbit hole, if it gets like 85, 90, it feels like it's about 110 here, 105. Like it's a hotter. I don't know. It's a hotter heat. I mean, I'm not in.
well, I mean, you guys aren't used to those kind of temperatures up that way. I mean,
Randomly we are. I mean, we're not used to them. No, we're not used to them. I mean, but we might hit 100 once a summer, something like that. I mean, we're in a place where it rains, 290 days a year. You know what I mean? It hasn't rained in probably 4 months now, 3 months, at least 3 months. Wait a minute, what's the month? 9. So it hasn't really rained since February. And in our winter, it really didn't rain that much. But yet we got like 2 feet of snow when most we ever really see is maybe 2 inches, 3 inches. So it's kind of all, it's ass backwards.
Weather manipulation.
Well, I agree with that, but with the storms that are going on with the sun, people don't realize that the sun just, I mean, it creates our whole entire atmosphere, our whole everything. You know, it affects the weather, it affects, I mean, I do agree that they modify the weather and shit like that. We've been in wartime since, you know, we don't know, we're not going to know, but we've been at wartime this whole entire time while everybody's talking about arm candy and everything else. We've been at war.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just and that takes me on a different tangent, but we're actually buying the weapons that they're using against us. Really think about that. We're looking at the devices that we bought with our money so they can attack us with them.
Yep.
That would be an SHTF scenario is of all these black mirrors just went blank. Do you realize what society would do right now? We're so programmed to, I mean, you think about that before you even think about
Cannibalism.
Long Pig ain't up here anymore, man.
But you know, ain't here neither.
But no, I mean it. I don't know.
And Purple Tribe ain't here neither, so he's all messed up.
Yeah. But go ahead.
I'm gonna still bet October is when we have that lockdown and food shortage hit us at that same time. And that's when they're gonna kick them virus out on us.
Well,
The kids are probably going to get cut out of school.
Fuck that. My kids are already home. I'm already kept mine out of school. And it's not just the mask, it's the order. You know what I mean? It's not even the mask, it's the order. It has to be single file line down the hallway, mask, stay away from your friend 3 feet. I mean, it's like fucking Nazi youth camp everywhere. And people are just, oh, here you go. We can't take care of them at home. Fuck that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's why I like the area that I'm in, because they're not the school my kids go to is an extremely good school, and don't get me wrong, every school still has to deal with what it has to deal with, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're very much about caring about the kids, and having their best interest at heart here.
Yeah. And the best interest, no matter how scary and a bad father I am, is that my kids get the fucking virus so they can build up an immune system against it. It's common sense. I mean, the people that live around me are like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm going to call CPS or some shit. I mean, they've never said that, but you can tell in their eyes. And it's like, what? I mean, it's not going anywhere. Okay, let's all get vaccinated. But the fucking deers in the forest are running around fucking coughing and sneezing on us. I mean, so we're going to vaccinate every animal too? I mean,
No, they're just eventually going to push it to where it'll be illegal to go hunting. Is what they're going to end up trying to do. That's the direction they're taking. That part there, they're going to end up doing the same thing with fishing too, because when it comes down to it, that's being self-sufficient. Because if you can go out and hunt, pay that, you still got to pay the government to go hunting.
Yeah.
You got to have your license or whatever, and you got to have your deer tags. But you go and spend, say, 20, even $40, and come home with a couple 100 pounds worth of meat.
So my theory on that is, and a lot of people, and even myself, it's about control. I mean, we all know that. But if you start looking at the elite, the motherfuckers that actually run the shit, not Biden, not Trump, not all them other dipshits that are wearing suits. We're talking about the heads of the corporations, the families that are here, right? If you start seeing them as actual preppers, right? Now, picture this. They're preppers. They want their whole lineages. They want their family. They want their ancestors. They want everybody in their generations to survive. So if you knew that there was an asteroid coming, if you knew the sun was dying, if you knew the world was getting ready to be flipped over on its axis, wouldn't you want all the other billions of people in the world to be in control, not be self-reliant, not be able to take from your pocket, from your table?
Yep.
So wouldn't it make more sense that the reason why they're making these laws, the reason why they're doing that is because they know something big's happening to where they need to be able to prep themselves, so they need to get us out of the way.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Can't take the king's deer.
There you go.
I will.
I mean, to me that
Call
makes sense.
call me Robin Hood.
To me, it makes sense why Bill Gates bought all that farmland. Everybody's like, oh, he wants to contaminate. Man, they've been contaminating us forever. Shit. I mean, if they, just like with the ingredients in the vax, if they want to get us with some kind of poison, they'll put it in our fucking top ramen or our faucet water. I mean, they want to get us.
You can go down that road too. I mean, depending on where you're at, it's already there.
But that's what I mean. But
They already do.
But my point is, he bought all that farmland because he knows something's happening, or he knows that they did something to make something happen, and he's got to make sure he's preserving his family. Anything that any one of us would do, you know what I mean? I'm not all for it, but if I had the money to be able to do it, hell yeah, I'm buying half this fucking country.
George,
Yep.
Did you guys hear about how New Zealand made it? New Zealand made it illegal for foreigners to buy land there because billionaires were buying doomsday bunkers there and shit.
Yep, they have for the last
And
2
they
years.
just kept on buying.
And it was supposed to be a 2-year process, and they made it a 12-day process for said billionaires.
Yep.
They know exactly what you're saying. Know what's going on. Something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's out of their hands or not. I mean,
yeah, something's going on somewhere. I mean, you can just tell by the way they've been reacting. Because I mean, they're not acting ahead of time, kind of like I was talking about before. They're not being kind of precautionary. It's almost they're being reaction. You know, they're reacting to something. Because this stuff is going a little too quick all at once.
Yep. And if you notice, like the celebrities and stuff, we're only seeing like maybe half the celebrities that we're used to seeing, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube Line, whatever devices you watch. Usually there's a whole bunch of celebrity we've been programmed to see for years, and it's only like maybe 50% of them now. I mean, there's only a few out there that are actually still on the screens and stuff like that. My point is just they're tucking tail. They're trying to either get to space or wherever the hell. I don't know, but something.
Well, I mean, what was that movie? It had oh shit! It was like there was a floating second Earth or whatever. You know, it was a space station kind of thing. You had the people that had all the money that were up on it, and then you had all the poor people down on the ground.
You know what?
They're already working on something like that. From my understanding,
China's building it.
The old boy from Amazon, the owner of that one, he's actually been putting money into it. Just from what I've been hearing.
China's building a mile-wide
Elysium.
At least, yeah. And I mean, so at the very least, they either know that we are running the resources out here. So, like you said, they're trying to get us to keep from using any resources, so that way it saves it for them. Or they've been notified about something. Something is something's on the way, and we don't know about it yet.
And that would be one of my main reasons I don't like Trump. I'm sorry if you want to kick me off here, but I'm just kidding.
No, everybody's got
that. I mean, that was my whole reason. If it was coming to drain the swamp, and we're going to tell you this or do this, he could have done a lot more. Is just how I see it from his standpoint, and being in that club. He could have let us know a little bit more than just what they told him to say. I mean.
Oh yeah, I believe he's got his part as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that just because you're president doesn't mean you can come in and do everything in 4 years and stuff like that. Because I mean, you've got your limitations too. But I mean, compared to current administration, yeah, I'd take him back. At least he had some balls,
I think they're all puppet. I think it's all ways to make us. It's all ways to make us like be brainwashed into. That's to further the divide. I think though, like
I think
I voted for this man twice. Exactly, and I feel like he used to endorse Hillary. I don't want to get too deep into that rabbit hole, but
he's a Democrat.
he was but But yeah, I do feel like, I believed in this man's message. Like, as far as like being proud to be an American, I don't know if he necessarily represents that, but that he was kind of like like I was talking about a little while ago, like the patriotism, dude. Like it, like like you need a figurehead, like a leader of some kind and shit, and like. He was the only option that we had as for like some kind of patriot movement. That sucks, but I mean it does. I mean he was the Celebrity Apprentice host as so, but other.
But what if his goal was?
But I mean I think he's cool.
But what if that was the goal for him to go in there so they could paint a fucking red X across all of the Patriots' backs, so that way the next administration can come in and bam, we got all our targets.
Yes, he said this. He said that he was gonna march with them to the Capitol and shit, and he didn't go anywhere with them. He just let them go out there.
That shit was so fucking staged. I watched 10 different on every device I had. I have live stream after live stream recorded and saved in my hard drive. That shit was so fucking planned. Just like all these protests in Portland. I bet everybody here thinks Portland's just the riots and protests, right?
I'll be back.
I mean, everybody's got that.
I think yes. I heard about protest every single day.
Check this out. It's in a 4-block fucking radius. Our city is a piece of shit because we have no laws for drugs, and there's thousands of homeless people on the streets. That's why our city is shit. It's not because we're rioting and burning and. It's literally like a 2-mile radius in 4 separate spots where they stage up these riots and protests and Proud Boys against Antifa. The shit is all artificial. I mean, you can tell. Because if I was a fucking Proud Boy, I'm not going to be shooting no fucking paintballs. I'm going to be dressed up in all black. No fucking, you're not going to see nothing. I'm going to go in there and start slicing. Never mind, because we're live here. Sorry. But... I mean, if I'm fighting for my country, I'm not going to use paintballs. You understand what I mean? Like it's all show.
I gotta check you. Give me just a second here.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead 1 second. I gotta check little man here his blood sugar and give him his bedtime dose of insulin. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You know what I mean, though? Like we're all watching it, getting all amped up. Like, yeah, get them. But they're using paintballs. They're using, water balloons filled with piss. I mean, what? If they were, you guys understand what I mean? Like if they were real patriots, the Proud Boys and all this other stuff, then they would actually
they'd be killing and shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
If I know you're an enemy of the state, you're an enemy of my country, you're an enemy to my family, I'm gonna take care of the situation.
Punishment for treason is death.
I'm not gonna be live on TV doing it neither. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense. It's all staged. COVID and all these lockdowns and all this shit, it just made the world one big stage, and now they're able to show us whatever the hell they want to show us.
What do you guys think about the whole Trump shit being a psyop? What do you guys think about that? Cherokee, I can imagine what you might think. Backwoods, I'm not sure what you think though.
I think we're too proud to admit when we're wrong. Like once he started pushing the warp speed and all the mandate or all the laws and stuff. I think a lot of us should have woke up like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like
I did.
I looked at him only for business, and that was it. When he started talking about warp speed, I was like, oh, fuck that shit. I gotta find me another thing to get into. That was me.
I started paying attention back whenever he said that we'll take the guns away and then let due process work.
With the Vegas shooting, right? I mean, that's when people really should have woke up, like especially.
Yeah, that's when I woke up to him, and I started thinking back then that what if Trump was, because we know they're selected, what if Trump was put in there? What if Trump was put in there to draw out us patriots and to draw us out and to really put us on the spotlight, you know what I'm saying, and get us fired up. They know who to go after now, for sure. A lot of people has put themselves way out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my thought.
What happened to him?
Ghetto prepper, what happened? He was spitting some good knowledge. But man, I do feel like they have been. I do feel like it's been to put the Patriots out there, dude, because it's going to be another. They want to implement control as quickly and as smoothly as possible, dude. And you know the Patriots aren't going to. Yeah, B2K said the bump stocks. That's another good point that he made. Like you know, like the whole. This dude is people was acting like this guy was like the second coming or some shit though. You know what I'm saying? There are some people out there that you guys know some of these people. Y'all know some of them. They'll be thinking that T-Man is they'll just go heavy into the T-Man shit. And I respect that. You know, I was a part of that once. Then I did research into this man's background he's connected to Zionism. It's really connected to Zionism a lot. All of his children are married to high-level Israeli. All of his children are married to high-level Israeli people.
Yep, you gotta think about it. He was like King Cyrus, and he went out like King Cyrus. A woman got it cut off King Cyrus of Babylon's head, and what happened?
Yes, sir.
Nancy just took him out by election.
See, the funny thing, it's funny you mentioned that because Trump, I heard that they was putting his image on the silver shekel. Like they consider him like Cyrus was somebody that freed the Jewish people from captivity from Nebuchadnezzar, I believe, but Cyrus was freed from captivity in Babylon the Jewish people, Israelites. They were freed from captivity by Cyrus the Great in Babylon, and they look at him like a Messiah type figure. And now, in order to get into the second temple of Solomon, or the third temple of Solomon, you're gonna have the silver shekel that has the image of Donald Trump on one side of it. That is something he recognized Jerusalem as the capital. But just because Israel is in the Bible, though, does not make them like we did that. I hate to say it though, but just because Israel is in the Bible and Israel is this that doesn't mean we should support everything that they do.
Yeah, but you got
I
to
digress.
Just remember though.
I digress, because the children though, the children should not be dying. There should be no babies dying, dude.
Yeah, but think about it though. What I said, King Osiris the Great, he lost the biggest battle to a woman, Tamiris of Madagascar. It's even in the Bibles, even in history books all over that area. TOMIRISN. They even got it on YouTube as the legend of her. So you got to think, what did Nancy do to him in the election? She hold out, she played his game, and then what happened? He ended up getting himself out. Same thing.
Thanks for letting me back in, man. I got lost looking at the chat.
Yeah, we'll talk.
No, it's all good, Bub. I had to go and
that chat is insane.
No, I was actually clicking on the chat inside the StreamYard, and I didn't know how to get out of it.
Oh,
yeah, no, I had to go and give little man his insulin and stuff. It's time for his bedtime shot and stuff. Like, yeah, that's my hero there. He's 9 years old.
How did you figure out that he was diabetic?
My wife is an RN, and she actually at the time was kind of like head over the diabetic area in the hospital and stuff, or at least helping people out. And
yeah.
So I mean, she's got a lot of experience with it, and he kept having to pee a whole lot was one thing.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of a little the amount that he had to go all the time was a little odd. And he kept having these, I guess you call it like a spell, to where he would basically spaz out. I mean, he would just throw an absolute fit. And for a lot of people, you look at it and it was like, well, he's just spoiled rotten throwing a fit.
Yeah.
And what it really come down to is that was when his sugar was through the roof, and he just can't really deal with it at that point. So he was 5 years old when we found out. It was on Valentine's Day night, and his blood sugar was up over 500 when we got to the hospital. We went from Southeast Missouri to St. Louis Children's that night. But that little man there, he is ever since that night, one of the most grown-up kids I've ever met in my life. I mean, he holds it down, to say the least. And getting his finger poked all the time.
Talking about him before.
Yeah.
Getting his finger poked all the time. He gets, on average, 5 to 6 shots a day.
Oh, good.
Because, I mean, being type 1, he's insulin dependent. So every time he eats something, he has to have insulin, to counteract if it's got carbs in it anyway.
What's the alternative to the shots? Like, is there any alternatives to that? There's not like a pump or nothing like that,
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could get the pump and stuff, and we were actually on track to do that, and then the coof happened.
I booked on Onus.
So I mean, we haven't been back up to St. Louis since all that's really going on. But I mean, that's kind of the plan. Because
is that the only other option? Would be like a pump, like a automatic.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually we had him on, there was a thing called Dexcom. It's like a little meter that attaches to the arm or in other areas, and it'll give a readout of where he's at. So you ain't got to be poking the fingers all the time. You can just pop the little thing open and check it. And okay, well, he's at this. It says he's going up, or it says he's coming down.
Yeah.
And the one that we actually had it all set up. It, through the Wi-Fi or whatever, will actually talk to the pump. So, like, if it catches that he's going to be going high, it'll maybe up the dose just a little bit. Or if it catches that he's on a decline, it'll actually shut the pump off to where it doesn't bottom him out or anything like that, to where it'll talk back and forth to each other between the meter and the pump, and it'll adjust everything automatically. But no, he's insulin dependent. So no matter what, he has to have insulin, whether it be a pump or just getting a shot each time or whatever. But you go up to him and give him a shot. He laughs at the nurses, and whenever we go to the doctor's office or something, because they'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna hurt. We're gonna give you a shot." And he'll just start laughing at it.
Yeah.
It's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?"
Yeah.
He's tough little shit.
If you don't mind me asking more questions, how do you prep for that, Silver?
We've gotten to where we try to go ahead and have extra of everything. Of course, whether it be the needles or the little lancets, or we actually had a friend that gave us some insulin, because we use the pens, and those are good for an average of 2 years or so, as long as they're kept cool.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of a surplus of them because we got those, and we've just stayed on top of getting his prescription each month as well. So we've got a little bit of a backup.
Yeah.
But,
I've looked. They're distributed at? Like before they get to the store, where they come from?
I've got locations planned out and marked out. And
I'm sorry. I figured you would, but
I've got
where I think when, you know what I mean? Like, where's the warehouse? Everybody's running to the store. I want to go to where the store gets the food.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there, because I've got that mindset too. But my biggest thing when it comes to that is it's got to be kept cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, power is the main issue. There's I've even actually talked to Alaska Prepper about it. There's a little fridge. It's only like a 45 amp, I think, refrigerator that he's done on before and talked about.
Yeah.
But you can hook that to like a solar panel, and have a little charging system that way.
Yeah. They got refrigerator coolers, and I mean they got all kinds of cool stuff.
If you got a big water tank, especially if it's underground, that water temp should keep getting his shot in.
That's my
But,
that's my booster shot, man. I have to have a booster every day. You know,
yep.
keeps me from getting the coop.
But if you have if you go ahead and have the water underground in a big tank or something, you can attach it to say even just like a fishing line and let it drop to the bottom, and it should pretty well stay cool enough
Yeah.
in that kind of situation. They've actually got things like refrigerators that run off of propane is one of the other things I'm starting to kind of try to find and look at. I mean, they're not cheap, but when everything else goes out, I mean, in my area right here, literally about 4 blocks from where I live, is a big company that does the propane tanks for everybody in this area.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, stuff really happened. I can get a hold. I mean, I've got propane tanks anyway, but I could get a hold of quite a bit if I needed to.
So would like a cellar or something like that work for the coldest life, or
It's got that power.
A root cellar would still be better than like room temperature, because it's going to be kept cooler. I mean, thankfully we've got a basement in the house that I live in, so I mean it's not a root cellar, but it's definitely You know what I'm saying? I mean the temperature is definitely cooler down there than it is up here. But I mean, there's
a cellar in that basement, man.
Well, I'd like to do a lot of things with this place, but we rent and.
Okay.
If I own my own place, shoot, we'd be kicking it then. But but no, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, because even when we prepping food items, a lot of people they want to eat healthier, and we want to eat healthier too. But we've also got to have things that have sugar on hand, because if he drops down real low. I mean, the highs suck, and we got to deal with the highs. But the lows, I mean, he could go unconscious, and go have like a seizure and stuff like that, depending on how low he gets.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's we got to have the sugar around for when he's going low to bring him back up, and
Did you get stocked up on honey?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of honey downstairs. Thankfully, we got well, there's beehives all around this town, and there's a local place here that sells a lot of people's local honey kind of thing. So
well, that's what my aunt did when she actually got off of her diabetes to a point, but everybody tried to figure out how she could regulate and everything. She didn't say shit. She stocked up on a shitload of honey. So when she did it at work and she didn't have none, they called me. I had to go get the needle and stuff. After I gave her shot, she turned around and come back to me and told me, "You go get the damn honey."
Hey, Cherokee.
Yeah.
Cherokee, Ghetto, Pilgrim, and my man Silverback. I want to say salute to all you brothers, man. And I'm telling you, things are coming. We all know it. And I'm so glad and proud to be on a panel with gentlemen like you who know their shit.
Right back at you, brother.
Right back.
Salute, brothers.
I'm not a drinker,
and the chat too.
I got me some Whoppers. But here, I salute a Whopper with it.
I got some water. I ain't
I'm
I ain't had
a
a drink in 5 years or better.
Everybody keeps saying it's coming, and I don't disagree with that. But when are we going to start saying that it's already here?
Yeah, because let's face facts. It really is. Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing I do is go with just Josh, what he said. But then you hold out when it says lockdown and food shortage. That should come in October. That's when he changed.
I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I don't think they're going to get us with the food.
I think the food, but I think it's going to take a little longer than that. Because I know in my area last year we had an issue to where, well, that late frost kind of stunted everything. I mean, they still had crops around here, but you could tell the corn was a whole hell of a lot shorter than what it normally was. And then we had everybody had to dump all their stuff because of the shipping situations, supposedly, whether it be the milk or I know down south a huge pile of potatoes that the farmer would tell people, if you want them, come and get them, but I can't, they're basically cost me more to try to get rid of them than what it is just to let them sit here and rot. And I mean, that's kind of the situation they were in.
I got so many damn tomatoes and all kinds of crap growing here, man. Dude, these things, like, man, I don't know. Man, they're freaking everywhere, man. I got.
was gonna say, man, we made that mistake growing tomatoes.
God dang, dude, man. I'm telling you right now.
Plants, and me and my wife is mad at me, just like, what the hell are we gonna do with all these? They don't never stop.
I mean,
I wish I was close to you. I'd take them off your hands, but
I don't have much room to can or anything. But dude, dadgum, man. It's like, man, I mean, like, I'm seriously growing tomatoes. They're the freaking size of my hand, dude. Just huge goddamn tomatoes, dude, and they're just everywhere.
What are those, like beefsteak tomatoes, like the beef ones, like the big?
Yeah, big boys.
Yeah, big boys. And man, dude.
You're welcome, long.
I've got some regular size too. You know, just some little slicers or whatever. The little, but god dang, man, I'm feeding them to my chickens, and when the dogs won't shut up across the road, I throw a damn tomato at them. You know, it splats everywhere and scares the hell out of them. You know. And,
Redneck, I've seen different stuff. I've actually seen they've got they've got a powder out. Well, it's been in the works, but the FDA hasn't approved it yet or anything like that. And they were still, well, it was working for like your normal food regulation. You know, whatever he would eat, it would work for that. But whenever cause see, he's got, my son's also got the Don's phenomenon. Is what they call it, to where he can shoot up real high for no reason at all. Really, it's almost like his pancreas kind of kickstarts for about an hour or two. But yeah, I agree with you. Backup upon backup. I beyond agree with that. And I mean, I've put a lot of research into stuff, probably to the point I've honestly thought about trying to do some videos or something just kind of directed straight at that. I mean, even though I'm not the one that's diabetic, it's still a big part of what we do. You know, I mean,
I would, because people need to know it.
I mean, it's like every single night for the past 3 years now, I guess, going on 3 years. I mean, no matter what time I even lay down, I still get up at midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning to check him, you know, just to make sure I'm where he's at.
Man,
because
I've been stacking so damn much for so long that I started running out of room, and we don't even own furniture in this house. Did you know that? I took and stacked a bunch of cans
backwoods in there,
and I duct taped all these cans together, put a little cushion on top, and put a couple of little cheap down at the tool supply place. You know, you can get these big ass moving blankets for like $6, and I just put them over that, and that's what we use for furniture, man. I've run out of room to stack stuff, dude. I can't stack anything else, man.
What's your address? Go ahead and leave it in chat.
I would direct people towards that for this winter as well, because them moving blankets, them suckers there during the wintertime, those things can hold some heat in now. I mean, they're not. I know they're not necessarily a wool blanket, but it's almost more or less like a quilt, in my opinion.
Hey, I use them in the moving business to stay warm. And I would get mad and use more horses.
And if you can get them for $6 a pop, I mean, damn.
Like those horse blankets out here, they're real thick. Well, you guys probably know what they are. You know what I mean? But the horse blankets are nice.
But that powdered insulin I was talking about, they there you go.
Dude, this moving blanket costs like $6 at the Harbor Freight Tools.
Oh, Harbor Freight, okay.
Yeah, camouflage utility blanket, super big. It is how big is this thing? A 72-inch by 80-inch.
That's almost the size of a tarp.
Yeah, dude, and it was like, dude, like seriously, they were $6. I bought several of these things, man, and they're thick. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's what we were just talking about. Those things. I mean, for $6 a pop. I mean, I'm gonna, if you don't care, I'm gonna start pointing that out to people and directing
yeah,
people
man.
towards that for this damn winter.
They're
Yeah,
cotton fields. They got cotton in them, man. They're. I mean, this you can see, man. It's a big dance. I mean, it weighs a lot, dude. It's heavy,
yeah. I
heavy
mean,
duty.
being a moving blanket, those things there. It's almost like a quilt, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've got one like in this thing. This 72 by 80 blanket weighs 5.30 pounds. This thing weighs 5 pounds, dude. It's heavy duty, man.
Yeah, buddy. Damn.
You can spray you can treat it with some of that which it's already kind of treated. You know, it's a moving blanket. It's made to kind of, you know, if you spill some water on it, it'll kind of. But you
Yeah.
can extra treat them. I've got a couple of them that I treated, and man, you can use it like a freaking tarp, dude. If you had to, you can put it over you, you know, like
Yeah.
a poncho, and put it over your head. It'll keep you warm and it'll keep you dry.
I don't know, redneck. My grandma makes quilts the old way. And we got one of those things. Now that son of a bitch there, even during the winter time, you only have it around you for so long, or you sweating your
You
ass
got a
off.
couple legs sticking out of that motherfucker.
Bullfrog, that would be a funny joke, except for I don't hunt in deer stands, man. I hunt on the ground.
Yeah,
And
I've never hunted in a deer stand either.
sometimes, yes, I'll be honest with you. That ground gets cold, man. You've been sitting there for a little bit, and you're like, screw it, I'm gonna get up and move some more. I kill a lot of deer like that, though.
I already got finished my drinking area. I'm drinking.
You went all blurry after that, backwoods. After you put
I know.
towards the camera.
Well, it
I'll
was blurring out because of the light. Now you see, I
Oh,
turned the light on, and now it cleared up.
Oh, okay.
It's lighting.
Yeah, let's see.
tastes like cocoa.
What?
What the hell are you drinking? Some latte? Does that say soy boy latte?
What that is?
No, quick hip coffee.
Soy
Or-
boy
or-
latte.
It's got
Man,
damn what you call it? Chocolate.
Cherokee, don't drink that soy boy latte. It draws your nuts up inside, man. You'll have to jump up and down 4 or 5 times to try to get them to drop again, man. You got to be careful with that kind of shit, dude.
It's chocolate, caramel, milk,
Cherokee.
sugar, and coffee.
Man, you got to.
Shit, if it does that, man, if you would
No,
send me a
you
couple
got
packages.
you got
I got problems every time I sit down. You know,
Man, I'm
it
telling
ain't got to be summertime, and I got that problem.
No, you add some brandy
the
to that
bastards just
shit.
getting away, huh?
Because I was drinking ginger ale and Irish whiskey from St. James.
Man,
Oh.
I'm switching because I got to get ready to go to bed after a while, and I want to make sure while I drink, she ain't gonna pay attention.
Pilgrim Radio.
What's
you're
up,
young,
sir?
You're a young feller. You want me to tell you what?
All right.
You want me to tell you what you got to look forward to when you get old?
Let me hear it.
Man, check it out. So when you
What?
when you drop your pants down to your knees, you'll have to actually reach down and pull your nuts up out of them, dude. You can hit a gal doggy style, bro, and it'll be you know them ping pong paddles, man, that you can
Yeah.
make that ball bounce back
Okay.
and forth. You'll have bruises on her chest and on your back, man, from
It'll be
them
straight like
things slapping back and forth like a ping pong ball. It's like,
it'll be like one of those things off of Star Wars that had the things in their heads.
well, the reason I know that is because see,
Okay.
you'll start to get to where you'll go doggy style, man. Just so
Yeah,
you can watch.
that's because
NASCAR.
because he does.
No, just so you'll go
God.
doggy style so y'all can watch the same TV show, man. Because you want to watch a TV show and when you know, and then you got kids running around, man. You got to kind of grab the,
What the
you know
fuck?
what?
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Listen, no, what I'm saying is you got kids running around, so once they go
Oh,
to
no.
bed, you got to
I'm not
grab
doing that.
your sex when you can.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
you see what I'm
Sorry,
saying?
sorry.
Kids
you see
running
where
around
he's
all.
going with that.
Jumbled them all together, and it kind of
Yeah, no. I'm saying when you got all these kids running around, you don't get to do anything, man. And when you finally get them to bed, you got to get it when you can, man.
Man, send them
And
bastards outside. Fuck
and then watch the TV show at the same time, man.
Go play
'cause, you know,
outside.
you got to go to bed, man, and get up for work.
that. Well, I hope you're joking, because I love my wife more than that. I'm not putting on no TV show, nothing. I'm taking care
I'm
of
just,
her.
I'm just giving, I'm just giving Pilgrim's young blood, man, up in here, man. You know,
My wife
So-
see me do
No, I
that
respect
shit, man.
that.
My food's gonna be
Nah,
poisoned.
dude.
we had to.
Yeah, my girl would be tripping if I like my girl is like just like not like that like like but like you know we can see what's good in the future, but you know that's like shit, dude. You still got that's like 30-40 years for me, man.
I'm 20 years in. Oh,
I'll
boy.
be good.
Well,
Gonna-
I'm 2 years. I have two. I'm like a 1 year of marriage, 4 years of being together.
Silverback's
So it's
over there
like-
like,
so-
holy shit, where did this conversation go, man? That,
Well, yeah, man.
Hey, I ain't saying anything,
Guerrilla
man.
warfare.
Look,
Yeah,
I was actually
there you go, right
what
there.
He was talking about with his son's diabetic powder stuff, and then you kept coming back in, interrupting him. So I'd like him to finish, actually.
Oh, well, that right there, man. That's just they have it. Oh, when they're doing the testing and all that kind of stuff on it, it
There's like
when
a
you're yeah, it's a powder. It's a shelf stable powder that they've come up with. But for the food that you take in, it'll react to that. But if you have a high that has to be adjusted for, they didn't have it worked out yet to where it would work for that. And my son has got, like I said, what they call Don's phenomenon, to where he can shoot up for no damn reason at all, and then we have to give him an extra, shot of insulin, so that way it'll bring him back down to normal level. And I mean, that's kind of like I hear a lot of people talk about keto and stuff, and keto can work for some people, like like type 2 diabetics. Not all of them, because some of them are insulin dependent, but some type 2 diabetics can actually regulate their diabetes with their diet.
Yeah.
And keep that sugar level down for them. My son, on the other hand, his pancreas is completely done. When you're a child, you get diabetes, it's type 1, your pancreas is done with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is insulin dependent. No matter what kind of diet we put him on, we may not have to give him as much insulin, but he's still always going to have insulin, period.
Yeah.
The only way around all of that would be like a pancreas transplant kind of situation. And that's kind of sketchy, and I mean, it has been done, but
we're not rich enough to be able to do that, pretty much.
Oh yeah, because anything to do with diabetes, it's like you see all these people getting all this free shit and all that.
Yeah.
My son found out he was diabetic at 5 years old. Okay, so you can't tell me it was his choice through diet and all that, like they try to push on some people.
Yeah.
But I mean, his insulin at that time per month, just for the insulin, that's not the needles, that's not, all the other stuff that comes with it, just the insulin, was like $600 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no natural way. I mean,
well, it has to be. To my understanding, the insulin itself is made basically from them pulling it out of a pig. So, I mean, there would be a way if you had, everything set up that you could kind of do it yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's, that's so involved and all that kind of
There's
stuff.
probably some money involved in that too, huh? Like,
I'm sure you'd have. I mean,
like
you'd have to
a couple
have
of stacks, huh?
you'd have to have, I'm sure, a chemistry degree and all that kind of stuff to really understand everything that would go. Yeah, yeah, to be involved in all that. But I mean, but the problem with that shelf stable stuff, once again, when it comes to the big dogs in the pharmacy industry, the money ain't in curing, the money's in treating.
Yeah.
So if they ever had that shelf stable stuff, well, anything that's in the refrigerator, like I said, is only good for 2 years at max, is what they got on it. Well, that shelf stable stuff should never go bad once they get it taken care of. So they ain't ever gonna let,
Yeah. They
They'll
want
let
you to keep
people
coming back.
know about it.
and I agree with you, Stuart. I mean, going more plant based does kind of work, but I mean, we even have to dose him for like fruit or corn, and different stuff still has natural sugars and things like that in it.
Yeah.
So I mean, once
Well,
he hits a certain number, we've got to account for that too. And with the keto diet, they count carbs, but they count them differently. It's like somebody tried to explain it to me one time, but like, just okay, say a sandwich, just a simple sandwich, 2 slices of bread. For me and for him, we have to count it as 26 carbs. Okay, well, for every 10 that he gets, he has to have 1 unit of insulin. So just eating a sandwich, little man still has to have a shot. I mean,
That's a lot.
yeah, and that's just that. I mean, he's allowed to have, his doctor has allowed him to have up to 100 grams of carbs per meal, and then a snack in there as well. And let's see here, it's called your A1C, is like kind of how the level they keep an eye on for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ever since we've stuck to the diet to where they basically told us to, whatever he wants to eat, let him eat it, just dose accordingly as long as he doesn't go over 100, per meal. And every time we went in, his A1C kept dropping down, which was a good thing. The lower it gets, the better off he is, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
But you have to watch it. That's the only thing. You have to watch it.
yeah. Redneck prepper, I agree with you, because I mean,
Man,
that's a situation all in itself, and unfortunately, it is an honest realization that I've had to come to at one point. I know there's a book out there that was kind of talking about an STH, all that situation. And the book itself is kind of based around a family that has a family member that's diabetic. And by the end of the book, it doesn't end well, because there just isn't any more out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is a realization I've had to come to, but I'll say this right here and now, as long as there's a breath in my body, I'll do absolutely everything I can to make sure he's safe and taken care of.
Amen, brother.
That's how that is. I mean, I don't care what it comes down to.
I can understand that.
He's my firstborn. He's not my oldest son. He's not my youngest son, but he's my firstborn son. You know what I mean? So,
according to the French Salic laws of ancient times, the firstborn son is like that's the legacy, dude. I feel that for my son.
well, I mean, every family member on my side, on my dad's side, I should say, so my grandpa and all that, we've all got the same middle name, and that was passed on down to him too. We've even got a picture to where my grandpa and my dad and me and him, we were able to all sit down on the couch one time and got a picture, and it was 4 generations of Thomas, for the middle name sitting there, and that goes back on even before my grandfather. So
I'm always jealous of people like that that's got generations and stuff. Not jealous, but just kind of in awe when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah.
Dude, I can go back 22 generations from my son to his 22nd great granddaddy back in England, dude.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna have
could
to do
barely
that
go back to my
sometime
grandpa.
on that. But
It's
Well, I
awesome.
mean, I know my.
That's almost 800 years.
I mean, I got to meet my great grandfather and all that. You know, I mean, I was very little, and I mean, we come from farming people. My grandfather grew up on a chicken farm. He was one of come down to being 10 kids, to my understanding. If I'm right on that, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I know he had a couple siblings that didn't get past the baby stage, and it would have been like 12. But, big family there.
They sure had a gang of kids back in the day, man.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up.
I think they didn't have no devices. All they had was fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excuse my language.
And they needed help on the farm, too. They needed some help on that farm, too. The more help you had on the farm, the more you help with washing clothes, cooking food, helping with the animals and shit, And then, maybe one day one of those 15, 16, 12, 13 kids, they go on and get a college education and shit, and they'd come back and, or something, they'd be like, here's a tractor. And then boom.
3, that's how far his history goes.
That was the problem.
What is that? What, getting the technology? Getting the tractors backwood? What's your ancestry? Cherokee?
I'm saying,
are you Irish or some shit? And besides Cherokee, Native American, what's your ancestry? Or what is you saying backwoods? My bad.
German Jew. Klontz means Jordan, God's soldier. I pulled it all the way back to the 10th century, 1092.
Wow.
He grew up by the Milton. William Melton, who was Lord Longshank or King Longshank, when he gets Braveheart.
What's going on, Nine Finger?
Dude, and that movie was awesome.
I agree with Backwoods. That was definitely the industrial movement when it comes to the farming situation was the downfall for it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, it was.
That's what I was. What was you meaning by like that? Like getting the college education and shit for the kids was making them be like, listen, you don't need to do this anymore. Use this instead. I saw this in the city.
So now Oh, go ahead, Backwood. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, sending all the kids to or sending a kid or two to college. The kids would go and start to see a big city life, to where they didn't really have to do anything except get an education. You see what I'm saying? And then over time, they would come back. They would come back and they would tell the other siblings, they would be like, man, you ain't got to do all this, man. Just come over here and you can get shit for free. You know what I'm saying? Free, I'm just telling you. I mean, think about it, guys.
It makes sense, yeah.
And now you can hardly get a damn kid off the damn couch. You got to fight with them. I mean, you got to,
My son watches this Coco Melon shit, dude, and you would think that it was some kind of a like hypnotism show. I'm about to get him to stop watching that shit, dude. I'm about to then just say it for real, dude.
Get him away from.
He'll just be like,
get him away from the black.
He's
screens.
not even one. Dude, yeah, I need to get him outside more, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll just be chilling and shit, and I'll put on some cartoons.
You can look it up. Every CEO or president of social media platforms, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, none of them let their kids have devices. None of them. They're not allowed phones. They're not allowed tablets. They're not allowed computers. Wonder why that is. You know what I mean?
Because they know what they do. They know the messages.
Yeah. What's that? Social Dilemma. Watch Social Dilemma.
Okay.
It's got the ex CEOs, ex presidents, ex people from Google, YouTube, Facebook, and they go on.
There's like somebody letting off bullfrog.
But what I was going to ask you guys, now we were talking about, all these big families and all that. Now, wouldn't you think because of COVID and all the lockdowns, everybody's at home, everybody's fucking. So wouldn't this be one of the biggest booms that we've ever seen when it came to babies, right?
Yep.
I've seen a lot of my friends having babies and me and shit too.
But on record, it's one of the lowest years in like 20, 30 years for birth rates.
40 years.
Dude, you know that?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know that? The exact dude. That's because the missing persons thing. One runaway usually goes missing about 6. They run away 6 times a year so that's 6 missing persons cases. So all these statistics are jacked up, or they're underrepresented, or we're not getting the full picture from all these statistics.
Yeah, most definitely.
Redneck, if you're still be able to hear me, that stuff I was talking about when it comes to that powdered insulin, it's not actually out on the market yet because they were still trying to work on that. And the point I was trying to get to a while ago, unfortunately, I don't figure it ever will actually hit the market, even if they get all the kinks worked out of it, because that would take way too much money out of everybody else's pocket when it comes to it.
Exactly.
So I don't figure the big companies would ever let that,
Get out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It was one of the honors of my life being on here with you dudes. I would like to be on here again.
Well,
Silverback.
Silverback.
Thank you for having me on here, Bubba.
Always,
I gotta
guys.
I gotta get up early, dude. Listen, I always love talking to you, man. Talking to these other dudes, Cherokee, Backwoods. Talked to you guys before a lot. Ghetto Prepper, dude. It was an honor talking to you. I think it'd be an interesting combination to see you and Redneck Prepper and shit talk. Like 2 different spectrums. Ghetto Prepper and Redneck Prepper. But yeah, dude. It was an honor talking to you, gentlemen, dude. Like, it was funny. I gained some knowledge, dudes, but I just got, what I'm saying? I gotta get up early, but
No, I hear you, brother.
it was
There,
awesome
I mean,
kicking it on here with you guys, so.
if you're free, I'm gonna be doing another one tomorrow at 8. So,
Okay.
Dude, I'll be here, dude. Count me in, dude.
I mean,
At 8, right?
yeah, 8 o'clock Central Time, so Missouri time. Yeah,
Oh,
I know. Yeah, I know. Everybody's kind of got to make sure I say where we're at there, just to make sure.
I missed everything.
DM me on Instagram the time and shit. Like,
Well, glad to meet you, Ghetto Prepper, for the first time.
Yes, sir.
I see him in chat all the time. I love watching him.
Yeah, I like talking on chat. I figure I'm paranoid. I don't even like showing my face and all that, but my wife's kind of
there's no
urging me to
haters, dude.
make my own channel and stuff like that. So
You have a lot of good knowledge, dude. You have a lot of good knowledge, dude.
I hope so.
Dude.
I think it's from a whole different
Yeah,
spectrum.
dude.
Like you guys
And
said.
people need to hear exactly a different opinion, a
Right.
different side of shit. Not everybody who's like, oh yeah, I only like this, and this is everybody
Yeah.
else likes this too. Let me only.
Right where you've got, don't touch it, program. Right where you had it. Right where you had it, brother.
Shit,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this. Is it good right here?
Yeah, your hair quiet, but it beats the other times when you come in. Like, yeah, I've had to turn
We'll
my
figure it out soon, guys.
Pilgrim.
I just got all this shit.
Pilgrim.
Yes,
Does
sir.
that have
Yes,
does
sir.
that have a auto tune on it, like an automatic
I wish I could
volume?
figure that out. I gotta.
I
figure that
guarantee
all
it
out.
does.
No, it does. It might. Let me see.
Dude, it's got to,
It's a
because I
Focusrite.
bought I bought like a $60 camera with
I knew that wasn't his
the
real
microphone.
voice. He's on auto tune.
Huh?
Silverback, I'll see you, Backwood. Nice talking to you again, brother.
Peace, Cherokee.
Okay.
You have a good
Yeah,
one,
brother.
Cherokee.
I think we're gonna go ahead and call it. I only get 4 hours anyway with the way I got it set up. We at 3 hours and 38 minutes. So, but yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody being up here. I know we didn't really dive too deep into. I mean, we did, but you know, everything's situational and all that too. So, but I definitely appreciate y'all being up here. Anybody that's watching, definitely check out all these channels of all these guys up here. You know, great information. Definitely get it out there.
What's
So,
the show on tomorrow about? Same stuff?
well, I just started up it's called Tavern Talk. You know, because
Oh.
back in the day, you know, that's how information got out, was in the taverns. You know, everybody go in there, get a little drunk, talk to each other, let everybody know everything. And well,
I must have read the wrong one, man. I thought Tavern Talk was tonight.
That's okay. You can take you another shot tomorrow, man.
I'll even drink with you, Backwoods.
All right, brother. I'll be over there, man. If you want me to, I ain't got no problem with it. We can Tavern Talk, bro.
By all means, that's what I was saying. I got enough spots for 10 people, if I read it right or whatever. So, I mean, I know some people that were gonna be here tonight couldn't make it because other stuff happened.
If it's StreamYard and you're paying for StreamYard, you get unlimited hours, and you get up to 10 people. If you're not paying for it, you're limited to 20 hours a month, and you can only have 4 people on.
I can get the 10. I can get the 10. I can get the 10 people. The way I was reading it, I'm only allowed to stream for 4 hours at a time. I guess, and I'd have to cut the stream. Yeah.
No, I mean, I've got the lowest deal I paid for on StreamYard. I paid mine in a yearly deal.
Yeah.
You know, and you can stream unlimited, man. I think I read something in there where it said something about try to limit your stream to 4 hours for audience or something like it had to do with viewership.
Oh, okay.
But and I was, because your audience will drop on, but man, look at Dangerous, man. He goes live for like 7 hours, dude, and you can see, man, when you first turn it off, and when you first kill the stream and you've got like 15 watching right now, all of a sudden you'll see that number popped up to like 150 people come and watch. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, damn, and it's just because people drop in and out, man.
Yeah.
Shit, was
yeah,
that Sorry about that.
Yeah, and like I said, I know tonight a couple people, because I've even heard from them. Native was going to be on here and he completely forgot all about it and did his own thing tonight. I was giving him shit earlier. I was like, nah, he's like, oh, I got to reschedule. Nah, man, go ahead and do your thing. Like I said, he's going to get it out there to more people anyway. So, yeah. But I mean, I was thinking, I could have swore Pepper outside the box said he was going to be good for tonight. I told him what time and everything else, but stuff happens, stuff comes up,
man.
Real life shit.
He probably got sick, man. He probably ate too many crayons for dessert.
But definitely I've already got it scheduled and everything for 8:00 tomorrow. So I mean, I'm just gonna let it roll. I've been trying to do. I know. I keep wanting to say sandwich, but I know it's Lucky now, Lucky Dame or something like that.
Lucky Dame.
Yeah, she was doing them there, but I know last week she said she was going to kind of start to back off of that one because she had some stuff going on. So I'm just going to keep rolling with that until she comes back, and then I'll, maybe change the time or something like that. Yeah, Redneck, 8 p.m. Central. But, so that way I'm not stepping on her toes or anything like that, Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely catch everybody later. I appreciate everybody for stopping in. I appreciate y'all for being up here. Clean On, Bullfrog, Long Pig, Redneck. Appreciate y'all. Pilgrim, all good, brother. I'm going to go ahead and kill it anyway here, get it shut down. But I will catch y'all later. Thank you, Ghetto, for being up here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Don't X out just yet.
Yeah.
Don't X out just yet, Ghetto.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. We will catch you later. Stay humble out there, folks.
Peace.